time to go viral. I'm homicidal, I'm killing all my rivals. I'm the man, shit, I put that on the Bible. I Spotify my target, cause you know I got the title. Hey, I'm a Mac too. I told baby shake that ass like she Apple. She said it's real, so she got my name tattooed. House full, so I hit it in the back room. Oh, baby said she needed now, peep the urgency. I want a little Kim before she had the surgery. Leg spread on that hardcore poster. She love twerking, she just do it for the coach. Big dog, bull massive. 6 tray Chevrolet, I'm classic. All these niggas mad at me, that's tragic. The main bitch in the bed, that's graphic. Yeah, we about to go viral. Hey, we about to go.
What's the deal? What's the deal? What's the deal, Viral Gang? We back at y'all with another one. As always, it's your host that do the most, Mr. Viral himself, aka the villain, cause they hate me for my opinion. Welcome back to another episode of the VwP podcast, the realest, the rawest, the most uncut podcast in the world by far. And as always, I got the co-host of the co-host in the building, man.
Yes, indeed. This one of the ones, man. Messiah the Great, we here to lead the way. And just know, every elevation requires separation.
I feel that. Yeah, that was nice. Okay.
With some new ism. New ism of the week. All right.
Man, Kali the one, live and direct. I'm ready. Let's get it.
Yes. We got a special
We coming for the checks. Y'all know what's going on. And if y'all watch the VwP podcast, I'm almost 99.999% sure y'all already know who we got in the building, man. I already know. Y'all know. Y'all watch VwP, y'all watch WAC 100. Y'all know. Let them know who we got in the building,
Give them that proper introduction, bro.
Come on, run it up. Nigga, you the co-host. Run it in.
Oh, you gonna do it?
Nah, go ahead. Do your thing. Do your thing.
I'm Captain Tazaryach-Hebrew BK under Commander Jenny Hanna, based out of 1 West 125th Street in Harlem, New York. That's where our school was established. And, we teach, Black, Spanish, and Native Indians who we are, our identity. And that's what we do. So I'm known for doing, like, debates, battles, and stuff like that on the streets. I got in touch with these good brothers through my good brother WAC 100. He the one set it up. Me and him, crazy introduction of knowing each other to become, like a better bond now, where when people think when we go back and forth, they think we hate each other, but we don't.
Hold on. So you telling me you met WAC by WAC going in on you?
Actually, reverse. So I met WAC by beating the shit out of Muslims. That's how I met WAC on Clubhouse. So WAC had a room on Clubhouse where...
Well, you said beating the shit out of Muslims. What you mean?
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
It's a metaphor, right?
In a debate?
I understand.
Okay. You said beating the shit out of Muslims.
I understand. Maxing Muslims out. Cause I'm tripping on the
I
Muslims.
said Cuz was hitting them niggas with that 52 blocks. Nigga, watch out, nigga.
I'm talking about debate. So, like, in the debate world, that you talk trash. It's almost like in battle rappers how they talk trash. So,
right.
In debate, so... WAC 100. WAC got a 100 side on Clubhouse that he runs. It's a 24-hour, 7. The shit is crazy how he runs. He's been running that shit for like 3-4 years. So a couple years back, he was doing something where he had Muslims on the stage. So my good brother Shapat, he was the one on the 100 side before me. And so he pings me into the room. So I hear the Muslims up there, teaching they Islamic stuff. So we begin to battle. Now to be fair, I didn't want to battle the Muslims at first. I just wanted to have a conversation with them.
So what happened? They started after you cook one, they started coming after you?
After I asked the question about can you beat your woman in the Quran, then they wanted to fight.
Can you beat your woman in the Quran?
Yes. The Quran says if your woman get out of pocket, deny her sex, try to discipline her first, deny her sex, and if all else fails, you can strike her.
Do you feel like, is there any time you should put your hands on your woman?
I don't think nobody should ever there ain't a time for nobody to put hands on nobody.
You don't think sometimes it's set for a factory reset?
You got it.
Because we didn't talk about this at first. I know bro was making this point a lot, but it's like some of these females be out of control. And I don't want to hear y'all be talking about nigga, woman beater and all that. And nigga not with none of that, but sometimes women be out of pocket, bro. Like, you be seeing these videos, women be firing people up in public doing everything, and the dude running away and stuff like that. So it's never the time. I done seen women that put out blicks on niggas. So I'm talking about guns.
We grew up without having fathers, so women don't know what discipline looks like until you show them discipline. You beating the woman is not teaching her nothing.
I'm not saying beaters. I'm not never.
If you resetting the TV, right? I remember Corey Holcomb said that. He said sometimes you gotta.
Yeah, you tap it.
You know how the frequency used to fuck up on the old TVs? You just smack the side of it and the screen come back clear.
Right, but that don't really get to the heart of why she's constantly going off at you, because she's gonna go off on you again.
It just, I mean, it might create a buffer because she knows what's coming on the other end of it, but it doesn't stop it, or it doesn't give her the intellect as to, okay, why am I doing this and why do I need to change? It's like when you hit a kid.
Do you spank your kid?
No.
Do you spank your kid? That's where I was going with it.
Hold on, I want to ask him. Do you discipline your children?
I'll tell you what.
Nah, ask him again, bro. Don't let him get away from
Do
me.
you discipline your children? Don't dance
No,
at them.
I'm gonna tell you the truth. I've never had to physically discipline my kids. I've only had to talk to them. But you know what? When we as adults talk to kids, especially in today's society, we think kids are adults, so we think they are buddies. I don't. I think a kid is a kid. So when I'm talking to a kid, I talk to him in a language that they can understand. I don't talk to him like I'm talking to an adult, like I'm talking to you. The conversation I'm gonna have with you is not what I'm gonna have with a 5-year-old, because a 5-year-old don't have your intellect.
I mean, like a preteen who got the internet now and think they know more than their parents, because they got YouTube Shorts. They listen to Andrew Tate. They listen to their favorite influencer. They think mom and dad dumb as hell.
Right. Now, what I'll say is my younger kids haven't got to that age yet. So ask me in about 7 years.
And that's what I'm getting at.
My oldest daughter kind of like when she grew up, because my oldest daughter is like 23. So we didn't go through that internet phase that exists today. So I get what you're saying then. Maybe
it's
in
a
couple
whole
years,
nother ball game, Brody. I'm telling you, I got teenagers, so I know, I see the difference.
And that was my point in saying, like, the way it was when I was coming up, there was more things on TV and socially accessible that allowed kids to be kids. Today, the internet there's nothing on there that allows kids to be kids. Everything that they get access, the way we talk about Cardi B is the way the 12-year-old talking about Cardi B. Mm-hmm. Because we accessing the same thing. That's why kids think they can have an adult conversation.
Right.
Because the internet is exposing them to the adult world.
But even on top of what you're saying, like when we was kids, when grown folks was talking in the living room, you couldn't even be in the room. You had to get up out the way. Right. Don't even be up in here. And then on top of that, we was always outside. You had to be outside. You can't even just be around and be sitting up. You ain't even thinking about Cardi B.
But you know what I'm saying? I remember back in the day, if you told me I couldn't go outside, it was like the end of the world.
That was slavery.
Outside is where everything was happening.
Cracking.
But now
that was the punishment.
You take that phone away, that's like the end of the world. Because kids don't even know how to be social. I watched this video where this mom took the phone away from a 12-year-old son. And he destroyed the whole house over the phone, because the phone is now the life.
They be having kids that's murdering kids over them phones.
Mm-hmm.
Serious,
over the internet, all of that. So
spare the rod, spoil the child. I mean, it's a whole nother ball.
There's nothing wrong with disciplining your kids, though. But on the subject of what we was talking about with women,
so you think you should put your hands on kids?
If you discipline your kid, that's not unlawful.
I think. Do you think that?
What's the logic?
What's the logic? Why do you feel like? Because I think kids are more prone to you being able to talk to them and have less restraint versus women, like you said, that ain't been raised with fathers or have never been disciplined or even know a certain structure. Some people been raised in chaos and that's all they know. And I didn't met women say, I won't respect a man if he won't put his hands on me at least once.
And that's the chaos. You think that's why I was saying, when you reset that TV, a woman like that with that chaos, you just giving her what she's used to seeing.
But is it?
That ain't even a woman. That's a demon.
Nah,
that ain't no woman.
I wouldn't even argue
that's
with
a demon.
Nah, that's a fact.
That created her too. A demon created her. Like the part that we don't never think about is that woman that's wild as hell. Somebody made her that way. Like kids don't, young boys and girls don't grow up and say, I want to be in the lifestyle that fucks them up. They don't grow up like that. Life happens to them. And then there's nobody that comes and say, it's not your fault. There's nobody that comes and say, okay, you was molested as a kid. You was addicted to drugs as a kid. You was in gangs as a kid. So let me fix that. Because there's a term called arrested development. Arrested development is a mental term where a kid can get stuck, where you can be functioning, you can work, you can go to the gym, you can work, you can get paid, you can do all that, but your mind is still stuck at what arrested you or what affected you as a kid. So if that's never addressed, you always gonna be a savage.
Okay, so let me ask you this. So when it come to our women in those cases, when we see that, most men, as far as us that got common sense, or know like to stay away from that. should we give up on those type of people? Like you said, they get to their late 30s, it's like they become a lost cause. So do you shine away from that, knowing like, okay, you got the trauma, you got everything else, you've been through certain things, and I don't even want to deal with you because you got to reprogram a motherfucker. But some people, if you're not open-minded enough, they would never even engage or even want to learn from that.
I think it depends though, because you have people who they come to your school as a messed up person, but the thing that they have is they're willing to learn and grow and change. So I think that you could be any kind of way. You could be the worst person, you could have the worst attitude, the worst reactions, but if you're a woman and you fall in love with her and she's willing to do the work to change, then I think you should be willing to put in the work to see where that goes. Now, if she is completely resistant to that, which to me, it only takes a few times to understand that that's what it's going to be for the foreseeable future, then as a man who's intelligent, that's when you vacate the premises.
If they're not open-minded enough and willing to change, this is what I'm asking. Do we just discard them?
Yeah, at that point, in my opinion, you can't save somebody that doesn't want to be saved. So if I'm giving you the medicine in multiple ways, I've tried multiple approaches to this situation and it's not changing, then I'm out of there because I already tried. It didn't work. At that point, I don't think you should continue to be the dead horse.
Yeah, I think you should leave them. They got to go to the wayside. You can't help nobody that don't want to help themselves.
The establishment that created these women. That's what we should discard.
Feminism you talking about.
It's a whole lot. If we talk about the so-called white man, that's a devil. You can always solve every problem by first recognizing the white man as the devil. That's the first thing.
Welcome.
Second thing, these Christian churches that created these monsters, that allowed them. The feminist movement that you mentioned that destroyed the black homes. And then also stop blaming. Like, it's hard for me. Like the Bible says, I'll make a man more precious than fine gold, right? So the 4 men that y'all see that call ourselves Israelites, we were savages, right? But we're savages and nobody says he's salvageable. He's salvageable. We would just be thrown to the wayside. And that's what it's like today. Y'all know that term YN? I hate that shit.
Yeah,
I hate that term. That's worse than being called a nigga today, because when you call a young kid YN, he feels like he has to go into being a YN. And a YN is worse than a nigga, period.
But he a young nigga, so he's still the same
what
thing,
I mean
right?
by worse than a nigga, what they feel they have to live up to
be a
as
YN.
YN.
Like a crash out.
Right.
Yeah.
To be a YN means I crash out, I shoot niggas, I fight, I stab because I'm a YN. But nobody calls the leadership that created and destroyed the black community anything. We still look at them for answers. We still think they're the way. And what is their answer? What is their way? Anybody know?
I mean, for
us,
us, incarceration, incarceration, poison through the food,
right. So what we do,
programming.
Right. So what we do in our school, we take them brothers that's savages and give them one thing they never had in their life. We take them sisters that's hoes and bitches and all and give them one thing they never had in their life, and that's compassion. I'm going to tell you a story. Me and this brother was in Harlem, New York. There was a brother in front of our camp. We go to camp. I'm pretty sure you're aware when we speak on the street. There's a brother come in front of the camp. He's cursing at us. He was like, fuck all y'all niggas. I'll shoot everybody from the Judah all the way down to Issachar, right? And the whole time he's saying fuck us and he gonna shoot us, Captain Taiwo is saying, you're my brother. You just hurt. You just destroyed. They go back and forth for about 30 minutes. When it's over, that same young brother is on the side of the camp crying. Because really, he just hurt.
He hurt, yeah.
Right, really, he hurt. And nobody took the time to give him love. Nobody took the time to give him brotherhood. And that's what brothers and sisters don't have.
So
let me ask a question.
Yeah.
So what is the Israelites' answer? I heard a lot of Israelites talk.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen a lot of their speeches on the side of the road.
Right.
Like, what is the definite answer? Because the most I speak to is like, let's go back to the Most High. And I'm like, okay, cool. Once we do that, then what? Because we still dealing with what's going on.
That sounds like a utopia
in the world.
When you say, let's go back to the Most
High.
High.
No, that's usually the answer. Hey, get back to the word, get back in tune. It's like we in tune for sure.
Right.
But it's still warfare going on here right now. So what is the overall answer?
No problem.
Hold on, let them answer.
Now, the reason why people say go back to the Most High, your identity is the most important thing. Like, I only call myself an Israelite because I am one. And in the Bible, it talks about there's no greater love than brotherhood. That's the cure. You was talking about this warfare out here. You know how that warfare happens? It was curated. It was curated from generational warfare. So the only way to fix it is to bring generational brotherhood. And it starts with us taking accountability for the shit that we played in that warfare. So if I was a drug dealer, if I was a thief, if I was a murderer, if I was whatever I played a part in that warfare. So I can't now say, man, the ghetto was fucked up when I fucked it up. So we make, as Israelites, we make us hold each other accountable and then go forgive that brother for the offense that he did to me, because I need a plethora of brothers to forgive me for the offense that I committed against them. Now, once we can fix that, and then now I can come to you. Let's say me and you was at full out odds, and then I find out I'm an Israelite, and I come to you and I apologize, and I come to you and I make amends. You might say, damn, what made him, because he wanted to kill me 2 weeks ago. What made him want to stop? Then that might inspire you to stop. That's the real life, boots on the ground solution. So yes, we have to come back to the Most High, but what does that look like? That looks like you going out into the streets where our brothers and sisters at and showing them that.
Yeah, but I'm saying once we do that, what is the next steps from that? Because I know divide and conquer, that's the answer, right? Okay, I'm Christian, I'm Muslim. Okay, we at odds. We can't never come together. I'm Israelite. I believe in the devil. We at odds. We can't never come together. Once we do that, now we're talking about building infrastructures. Because when I look at the black race, we don't have no power because of that. We don't have no foothold in the major infrastructures of the world that if we was to remove that from society, society is directly impacted, like the oil, like energy, like airline, like, you know, shit that really matters, agriculture. We don't have none of that. So that's what I'm asking, like, okay, well, what's the answer for that? It can't just be go to the Most High.
You know what I saw? So now after that, right, the infrastructure starts with what you build internally. So if I was to take my organization, for example, that brother right there just came back from building a whole farm of animals. So now we can grow our own animals. That's agriculture. I got another brother, Tazaryach, in Texas. We got farms in Texas, so we can build that. Economically, if we don't bring our resources together, I think they got this term where the black dollar leaves out the black community fast.
Couple minutes.
Right, couple minutes. And most people think that that's a smart thing to say that, not realizing half of the stuff that we actually spend money on is bills. So we don't control that. So let's remove the bills like your gas, your electric. Let's remove that. Let's just stick to our commerce. If you start a business and you start a business, I start a business, we would support you in here. Like I have a business. I have a business called Call Gas Creations. Totally supported. Now it's supported by people outside the community, outside the Israelite community, but it's supported inside the Israelite community as well. So we're creating an ecosystem where brothers can support brothers, sisters can support sisters. That's where it starts.
I think,
I want to address one more thing. When you said like Israelites, Muslims, and Christians can't come together, that's not really true. When I brought up how I didn't want to battle the Muslims at first. Right. The first thing I offered the Muslims was, let's sit at the table to see what we can actually do together. You don't have to be an Israelite right away. I ain't coming here and say, hey, man, y'all got to be Israelites. I didn't do that. Because you can't just start trying to shove your belief down somebody's throat. But what you can do, damn, pause, Salaki.
That was crazy. That was crazy.
So, but what you can do is begin to have conversations, because that's what I've done. When I came into it, there's something called the conscious community with Sinet and stuff like that. Even if I use WAC, when I first met WAC, you wouldn't think that him and I would be together. I mean, WAC said one time he's not even supposed to talk to me. Like somebody in his position, you wouldn't think would talk to somebody like me based on just my rhetoric. But the reason why my rhetoric,
you said it ain't nothing good.
But the reason why my rhetoric is the way that it is because of our people. So now me and WAC come together, and then now me and WAC can build and do things together. Now, if I wanted WAC, if I came and I said, WAC, you got to be an Israelite before you could do anything, WAC would say, man, fuck you and them Israelites. I'm not doing none of that. So you have to be able to communicate. And that's a lot of things that we don't understand either. If you come in trying to push your belief on somebody without even understanding where they come from, it's not going to work. So that's what I do. That's what we do in ISUBK. We're able to speak with different organizations, speak with different groups. That's why we're all over America. We're in Dominican Republic. We're in the UK. We're in Haiti. We're in so many different places because of that.
No, I'm saying too, what I mean by like coming together. As an Israelite, I highly doubt someone at our age you finna convert from Christianity or from Muslim or whatever. No, I'm not saying you don't. I'm saying on a general basis, the masses. You might get one or two strays, you feel me? But overall, once you at this age, you are what you are. That's like a Christian coming to try to convert you. You're like, I'm an Israelite. Then it becomes, why are you wrong? When I speak to religious people, because I ain't religious. Like I don't identify to no one religion, but I do take game from all of them. Mm-hmm. It's more about them telling you why you're wrong with what you believe and why you need to believe what I believe than trying to find a common ground.
Because and I think not to I'm gonna let you go real quick. I think and what he's saying to his point, in my opinion, is like he said with the masses, it's more, I don't think religions can actually come together because you choosing to believe in whatever you believe in. Only thing I could think of if people come together is with a common goal. So now if you have a common goal, regardless of what your religion or not, but then you would still have people like, well, if I feel like we got a common goal, I should lead it. Then it might be like, well, you an Israelite, you feel like you should lead it. A Christian or a Muslim, like, I'm not finna let a Christian lead me. I'm gonna do. So I think that's where a lot of things will come into play. And then
at some point, some point it does come into play. But I wasn't born an Israelite. I grew up. My grandfather was a pastor. I grew up Christian. I started being an Israelite at 32. I think it was at 32. So anybody can change. Ask them brothers if they was born Israelites. They're gonna say no. Somebody came and gave them some information or some knowledge that was unbeatable, and it was true, and then they changed their life. So yes, you might start off. We was talking about y'all on the 200th episode, right? Y'all started at 1, right?
Right. For sure.
Y'all at 200, right?
Right.
Well, 200. Y'all over 200.
202 right here.
Right. So now y'all got there because you worked. So then you saw 10, then you saw 20, then you saw 30, then you saw 50. You'll get to 1,000. That's the same thing with what we do. You could start off with one brother. When I came into ISUBK, it was just me in New Jersey. I used to have to travel to Philadelphia before I could get a school in New York. It took me, I got into school in 2010. By 2017, I had my own school in New York. Now, if I would have gave up, think about what you were saying on the 200th episode. You were saying how you was dropping the numbers, how most podcasts drop after this point, drop after that point, because they give up. So now them 7 years that it took to build that school, if I didn't persevere or if I thought it wasn't going to work, I would have gave up. So it's not about getting numbers. It's not about instant gratification. The truth is not about a sprint. It's about a marathon. It's about how much you're willing to put in. That's why I was saying earlier, we curated the warfare that we live today in every ghetto across the world. We curated that.
Do you feel like...
Wait, let me just make this last thing. So if we can curate warfare, we can curate peace among brothers. You just got to be willing to go to war with them brothers that you curated the warfare for. So that's what we do. It's not an easy job, but that's what we do. That's how we do it. That's how we bring people to the Most High. Because when we keep coming on them corners, when they say don't come on these corners, when we keep coming outside, at some point, them brothers say, well, damn, they keep coming outside. Let me go listen. And then now them brothers come and stand with us.
And I think, too, even when we talk about building infrastructure, you don't even necessarily have to fully convert somebody for them to live a cleaner life or live a better life. It's a lot of people, right, in America right now that would identify as Christians, for instance. And when you look at the Bible or in religion, somebody who's super religious might say that person's not necessarily a Christian, but there's certain values, morals, and standards that's been implemented within them from having a Christian upbringing or that being the main religion over their lives. So when we talk about Israelites or the Nation of Islam or anything like that, I think the thing that you guys are able to do in those groups are get people to change the way that they think, even if they don't necessarily convert. And it's by being an example. So I don't think you have to convert everybody and make them believe in what you believe in religion-wise for them to look at you and say, that's a good example. I'm following him based off of how he carries himself, X, Y, and Z.
But I think in order for that, I have to believe in your ideology. So if I feel like if I'm a Christian and you telling me something that a Muslim is preaching to me, I'm going to feel like the Christian way is the way. So it's not necessarily, I'm already going to be
closed-minded.
Yeah, exactly. Right. To the point where I don't feel like I don't believe in that. So I'm not going to necessarily convert, because more so when y'all do stand on corners and y'all give y'all message, yes, y'all want people to understand the Most High, right? But at the same time, you want people to follow the Israelite way, right?
Right. That's the end game.
Yes. So like he was just saying, so you might not get 1 or you might get 10, but for the most part, I feel like what bro was saying, when you've been, people be born, you could be born into a Muslim family, born into a Christian family, and you've been this way all this many years, and now you stuck unless you're really doing the research and the homework to understand, like, well, let me believe in, let me make my belief what I want it to be. Do I really believe this, or is this something that been put on me?
I'm just saying, in real life, like, I know brothers that subscribe to Islam, and they might, like, when you look at them, they might not be the most Muslim example, but they have changed and became better just off of the teachings that they have learned. I think there's many people like that. So maybe it's conversion to a certain degree, but I think you have people out here who would say, I don't subscribe to any religion, but they've taken something from multiple infrastructures and used that to better their lives.
Bro, when I say the end game, I mean for the overall people. Like he said, the end game is to make you an Israelite, right? So then I go from there. Well, what from there? If I'm on the outside looking in, I'm like, okay, I'm thinking about converting. Once I become an Israelite, then what? Am I just a part of another religious ideology? Or
no, we're
like,
not religion, because it's like a white person can't join us. A white person could be a Christian. A white person could be a Muslim. A white person cannot be an Israelite.
So Israelites is strictly for our people.
Yes.
So y'all don't have no half and half?
So that means
so half and half is like biracial, I'm assuming the term. So you only go by your father. So if your father is an Israelite, you're an Israelite. Not if, so like, let's say like Bob Marley is a white man to us because he got a white father and a black mother. But he wouldn't be an Israelite. He can't come.
So Bob Marley couldn't be Israelite.
Nah. Bob Marley a nigga. Y'all niggas
that's
tweaking.
crazy. Yeah.
Bob Marley a nigga.
And you know what's even
more?
more?
Have you ever seen his father?
No, but look,
Google
but look.
Bob Marley's
okay,
father.
but we
and
say
wait, hold on. If you Google Bob Marley's father, you're gonna see that Bob Marley looks like his father in blackface.
So he's not pure. So let me ask you this: do you think you got white in you?
It's not about. That's why I'm using Bob Marley as the example. I don't have white in me.
Because if at face value, if we put Bob Marley next to you, y'all are like damn near the same skin complexion.
Right. So it's not about skin tone.
You talking about the lineage?
Yeah. I know.
So I'm gonna explain. If you could be pitch black dark, or you could be the white. Look, the whitest white. It's what your father is. Colorism is something that America made, where they used to have the brown paper bag test, where if you was this color brown, you was acceptable. If you was darker than this, you wasn't acceptable. We didn't have colorism. Even if you go to Africa, they ain't beefing over color.
Damn, cut pops do look crazy.
Yeah, I told you. I told you.
Hey, I never looked that shit up before. That's crazy. But I'm still looking at Marley like a nigga though. But that's crazy.
Don't he look like his father, right? But he got that nose, the little ass lips.
I would never.
Bob Marley do look more like a nigga than this.
I would never think that.
That's because of his hair, right? It's only his hair.
Yeah, he got nigga hair, but even his skin complexion, he looked like Bob Marley is considered black.
But Mariah
to
Carey,
people.
right, has a black father, so she would be the nigga.
So, because the father is the one, the basis, so it has to be that.
Life, without you ejaculating into that woman, she can never have a kid. You know why she has a cycle? Because that egg dies. Whereas your sperm is still living. Your sperm lives longer than that egg.
So this is what I'm saying though. So because I believe in my mind, maybe I could be wrong. Right. I believe that people that came out y'all complexion had somewhere down the line it was it was tainted.
When y'all get
so I know so this is what I'm saying. So I know what you're saying. Like it's only because of the father, but at some point, I believe white is in y'all somewhere.
So even if you go genetics, right? I'll use genetics just to help you understand. So biblically, you are the seed of your father. When it says 12 tribes of Israel, those are 12 sons of Israel that had children, that had children, that had children.
Right.
Just like you got Edomites, which is where the white man comes from. So you always are the seed of your father. Genetically speaking, if a woman was to go get her DNA, she can't get her paternal side because she doesn't carry that DNA information. So like when one of my wives went and got her DNA, she had to get her brother to do the DNA test to get her father's information because she doesn't carry that genetic material. So even in the white man's science, you are what your father is. Women don't carry that genetic information.
Yeah, it's been scientifically proven.
Let me
most of your traits come from your father.
This my last question about this. Go ahead.
You get the same genetic material, 23 chromosomes on both sides, but the part that identifies who you are
come from your
comes
dad.
from right.
Yeah,
comes
yeah.
Let
Y'all
me-
looked at that shit up
yeah.
before.
Let
Yeah,
me
talked
because we
about it.
talk about that. This is my last question
Okay.
Bro,
because
going crazy.
nah, because I'm trying.
serious about this
because
shit.
Yeah, he
because
going
I want
crazy.
to understand because he used Bob Marley and
That hit you hard, huh? Like
Yeah,
Bob Marley.
nah.
He called Bob Marley a white man.
No,
Nigga
so-
like,
so
fuck.
If you gonna listen to his music, listen to his. It's cool.
I'm not saying that though,
Oh,
but
okay,
what I'm
okay.
saying is like you said, you get on these corners and you said y'all convert people and do certain things.
Right.
So if a man meets y'all on the corner that's like Bob Marley,
Right.
but the world identifies him as black.
Right.
And so when he does meet y'all, he be like, man, I want to line up with y'all. I like what y'all do. I like your ideology. And then when y'all get to his roots, what is the purpose of not allowing him because he has a white father? Like, it's not his fault for that. But even though the world looks at him like he's black, so he can't align because of the father lineage. What is the root of that? Y'all feel like because is he not pure? Like, you know how the Italians be like, well, you can't be made if you ain't
You're an
full-blooded.
associate.
Well,
Yeah.
ours is greater than what the Italians, whatever their logic is, because ours is biblical. Like God said, we can't mix. God said if we want to be strong, we do not mix with other races, because when we mix with other races, we become weak. Look at us in America every time. Serena Williams don't even look like the way she looked no more.
I
Like,
agree.
so we lose our inheritance. It ain't about whether a person is ugly, pretty, light, dark, long hair, short hair, none of that. It's about your spirit and what you give your spirit to. So we can't join another nation. So if any person comes in front of our camp and they could look like one of us, like Africans, we don't fuck with Africans either.
That's crazy.
Yeah, we don't fuck with Africa. I'm famous for this little 12-year-old kid. I'm doing this interview with Sarnetta. Sarnetta asked if I would let him come to my cookout. And I said no to his face, because Africans can't eat with us. They can't be with us. They're not one of us.
Why you don't fuck with Africans? Why you say
Because
that?
they're a different tribe, totally.
So y'all
from us.
gang banging then.
No, it's not gang banging.
In
It's
a
different-
sense,
that is
you know
gang
what's
banging.
crazy?
In a
You
sense,
know who's the
because
if you go by gang bang logic, the Africans were the first gang bangers against us, because a white man did not come into any tribe or village in Africa. It was Africans that sold us. So if there's anybody that was gang banging first, it would be them when they sold us.
I'm not disputing if there was gang banging or not. It's
Right.
tribalism everywhere. I don't care what race
I
you
don't
are.
argue
You
that.
go against each other. I'm saying,
But-
why do
but-
you feel like Africans are not a part of us when they
Because
us just somewhere else?
So biblically speaking, they come from the tribe of Ham. So they're Hamites. So in the Bible, it's like 3 sets of sons that people came from. You got Hamites, Shemites, and Japhites. So Hamites are the Egyptians, the South Africans, Canaanites, Ethiopians. Those would be considered Hamites. We're Israelites. So we come from a totally different tribe than them. And even they know that. That's why Africans don't affiliate with us like that. Unless they can get some monetary gain from us, they don't affiliate with us like that. And so my point is, the reason why we can't join them is because the minute we join them, we instantly become weak. Because you know what happens when tribes come together? No matter what, one tribe is going to want their tribe to be over the other tribe, even if we're supposed to get along. That one tribe wants to be the chief tribe. You know who don't see that? We don't see that. We never see that as we join this white man, and this white man is trying to be on top of us. We always think he's gonna be equal with us, and then we always fail.
But y'all got
But it-
hold on, because y'all
Yeah.
got internal beefs too. So y'all have like somebody who's the leader of this version of y'all movement, but it'll be people in the background like, I don't think he fit to lead us. Just the same way in the gang. It could be
Right.
somebody that's the spokesperson of the face, but I feel like I'm harder than him. I feel like I should be the spokesperson of the face. So what's the difference? Because y'all do the same thing.
What's the difference in gang?
I would
Yeah.
say.
No,
with
I'm saying
difference is
logically.
crazy.
No,
Oh, I thought you like it's a
no,
difference.
not a difference from a gang. I'm saying
They
there's
got a whole
always going to
structure.
be
Yeah,
some
something.
type of conflict as to why somebody feels like they should be the leader of the
Instead
movement,
of
like
you, yeah.
Pan-Africanism. Instead of let's all get
Right.
together and figure out how we can get black people in a better space
Mhm.
in the world. Nah, I want to do it my way. I feel like my logic is better, even at
So
the
what my-
detriment of the
Right.
entire movement.
So what my leader, Commander General Hunter, did back in 2011 was he said all camps or all Israelites need to come together to avoid that, to have a sit down at the table that we can work out whatever petty differences or whatever that it is. Now, if these other groups decide not to do that, I've done it. I've tried it multiple times. The closest, I remember in 2014, I had 3 Israelite groups that agreed to actually sit down with me and said they was going to join. We was going to stop. Well, I don't want to say internal beef because I wasn't necessarily beefing with none of them. But then they backed out of it. So from my organization's position, we've always opened the door for that conversation. So it's not my fault or our fault, I should say, that they don't take advantage of that.
All right.
And then that's when it becomes, well, why won't they come and talk to us? It's not about us talking to them. It's about why won't they come and talk to us? And it's always going to be everybody want to be a chief, pride, power. That's always going to exist.
So what's the main focal point? Because I don't think y'all can ever reach. Let me word this right. I don't think it can ever come together on a global scale because I'm still stuck on the black and white thing with the father stuff. Because it's like if a man is raised by his black mother, didn't know his white father or whatever the case may be, he's not allowed. What is the ideology behind that? Is his spirit tainted? Is that why?
He's just a white man. That's all.
But he look black.
Hold
I don't
on.
care what you look like.
Your spirit. So he's
Hold
a
on.
white man.
Which version of the Bible do y'all
King James.
subscribe to?
King James.
See, a lot of people will say, I ain't following y'all just because of that right there. King James remixed the Bible. That ain't the original Bible.
How did he remix?
Is that the original Bible?
So before King James in 1611 had that Bible translated, you had other Bibles, Geneva Bible, Bishop Bible, etc., like that. All of them use the same Hebrew, well, not all of them, but they mainly use the Hebrew and Greek manuscripts. You can look up the Texas Septus, for example. So all King James did was have the top Hebrew and Greek scholars just translate that version into English.
Well, how many books are in that one?
In the King James 1611, I think that one is the 84. And then when you get a regular King James, the Apocrypha is missing. So you just have the Old Testament, which ends at Malachi, and then it goes from Matthew to Revelations. But the 1611 would have Second Esdras, Ecclesiasticus, the books that kind of bridge the gap between the Old and New Testament.
Because from what I was reading, they were saying the Ethiopian Bible, that's the oldest version of the Bible. That's like the original, most complete Bible with all the different scribes and all of that.
It comes from Russia.
Yeah, Russia, they recognize that the Messiah is black, right? They probably one of the only governments I ever seen
what I mean when
say that.
When it say it comes from Russia, it was found in a trash can in Russia that they say came from Russia, and then that's what they call the Ethiopian Bible.
Okay, but the King James version has books removed, right?
No, it's like you can get a King James.
Like the Book of Enoch and all that shit that's not in there.
The Book of Enoch is not a real book. That's called pseudepigrapha because there's no author. Because the Enoch that they're saying wrote a book before the flood. There ain't no record of him writing a book before the flood. There's oral tradition of things that he said, but the Book of Enoch would actually contradict the Bible because the Book of Enoch says there's fallen angels that had sex with humans. The Bible don't back that up. The Bible don't back that claim. The Book of Enoch say you die and go to heaven or hell. The Bible don't say that. When you die, you sleep. You don't go to a spiritual place to get tormented or a spiritual place to get blessed. So Enoch contradicts any Bible, not just the King James Bible.
Do you think King James Bible is also like a contradiction to it too?
I've never seen one yet.
Because, I've heard a lot of things about King James being not just a full heterosexual man.
Right.
So y'all don't think that's a contradiction? Do you think that's supposed to be something?
When it comes to the whole homosexual, can you say homosexual on the internet?
Yeah, you can say
okay.
homosexual.
So when it comes to the whole, you got to be careful with YouTube. So when it comes to King James being a homosexual first, that rumor didn't start until after he died. It was never said while he was alive. And it was a false rumor, and it was said by his enemies. It's almost like, I'll give you a comparison.
So enemy made that up?
Yeah, so it's almost like Malcolm X died in, I think, 64, 65, something like that.
Right.
And then in the 2000s, someone wrote a book accusing Malcolm X of also being homosexual.
Right.
Now, those that were contemporary with Malcolm would say that's a lie because we know that piece of history. So the contemporaries that time knew that it was a lie about King James, but they don't think about that today. When you get a good book called, not a book, but a letter, it's called Basilicon Duran, written by King James to his son, where he's telling his son not to dress like a woman, not to act like a woman, and not be a woman. That's how he raised his son. So the lie that they put out is that he was so-called gay because he was actually against the Roman Catholic Church as well. So, Of course, they would put out the false rumors.
Yeah, I'm not a Bible scholar. I'm not here to debate the Bible. But I just know anytime anything is translated, shit get lost in the translation. It's like the game you played in elementary school where they had 25 kids lined up, played telephone. Hey, they say a message in the first kid ear. By the time you get to the 25th ear, it's a whole nother message. Like, that's not what the fuck he just said.
But the difference in I agree with that though, but the difference is when you translate anything from one language to another language, it's always, you have to find the appropriate word in the English that matches the appropriate word in the Hebrew. Like even the Bible said it's more power when it's spoken in Hebrew as opposed to another tongue. So let's say if you take the King James, the only way to know if it's correct or incorrect is to go to the text that it was originally written in. So that's what we do too. So we teach Hebrew, we teach the Greek. So you can make a comparison to where that, and that's why we go by the King James, because we did that research just to make sure.
So to Christians who go by the same Bible, y'all say that their ideologies are wrong?
Absolutely, but it's not because they go by the same Bible. It's because they don't believe nothing in the Bible. They go to church on the wrong day. They believe Joseph didn't have sex with Mary. They believe you die and go to heaven and hell. They believe God loves everybody. They believe all the things that you cannot substantiate in the Bible. So it's not about them reading the same Bible. They don't believe the Bible that they're reading. They believe God's laws are done away with.
See, and that right there is why I said I don't see people ever on a global scale being able to come together as long as it's separations by religion. Because when you tell me that as a Christian, you just attack me as a person, because I've been a Christian so long, I now identify myself as a Christian.
Right.
Not me, who I am. I'm Christian. So when you say you worshiping Christianity wrong, you just basically spitting in my face as a human to a degree.
So y'all don't believe God love everybody?
No.
I would say there's instances in the Bible that say he doesn't as well. So
God
he was putting belt to ass in the Bible.
Even if he putting belt to ass,
God hates,
regardless.
He hates. God hates. He hates our wickedness. It's proof. Look at the condition of black people. Does he hate us, or do he hate the deeds? So that means that's the same thing.
No, because
the deed ain't wrong. You're the one doing the deed. You're wrong for doing the deed.
But I don't hate you. I just hate that you did some bullshit. Like, I don't necessarily hate you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not. I don't necessarily hate you, but like, come on, cuz I hate that you did some bullshit. Right. So I'm not gonna necessarily hate you for that. But it's like, if God created everything, omnipotent, omnipresent, and everything else, how can he hate?
You a father?
And essentially, I'm not. Essentially,
right?
Essentially, let me say this though. Essentially, that means you hate yourself. If God created everything, if we are the spirit of God within us, if he created everything, then essentially he hated himself then.
No, a power has the ability, like the Bible says, he can make a potter, he can make a vessel of a vase, or he can make an ashtray. He has the power to do so. So as a father gives rules and instructions to his children. So he chose Israel to give his rules and instructions to. If we obeyed him, we would be blessed. We would have the best. If we disobeyed him, we'd have the worst. That's why I was asking if you have kids, because you do the same thing with your children. If your children do good, you reward them. If they do bad, you punish them.
But I don't hate them. I don't hate them for that.
I don't hate them.
My kid could go do, I don't have kids, but they could do whatever. I'm not going to hate them. Like, yeah, I hate what you did, but I don't hate you. If I created something, I'm not going to.
Lord, that y'all kids ain't done enough to where y'all are at that point. Right? That's essentially what you're saying as a father. Your kids haven't done nothing to where you have to hate what they did. The children of Israel,
hate what they did, but like me hating you, my son, I don't think I could ever reach that point.
Yeah, well, God hates
I probably would start to blame myself, like, damn, where did I go wrong?
Exactly,
that's what most parents do. Like, somewhere along the way, I must have fucked up for you to be able to do that.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. That's why even the Bible says God is long-suffering with us. But then there comes a time where he got to put, like you just said, belt to ass.
So how can God be a forgivable God if he hates you?
Because his punishments is what corrects you.
I know, but if I forgive you, that don't mean I hate you. Like, if you do whatever, if you, I forgive.
How did he stop hating you?
I don't hate you. If
No, take the analogy that he hates you. How does he stop hating you?
Well, you repent, right? According to
that's my point. So you are in control of what you receive from him.
But did I ever hate you? Yeah, I'm mad what you did, but I need you to repent, and yes, I forgive you for what you did. I never hated you. I still loved you, but
hold on, this is a better question. Okay. So do y'all believe in free will, or everything was already written?
There's no such thing as free will. At best, you can say you got a choice. The Bible says, God says, I set before thee this day life and death. Choose one. You obey me and live, you disobey me and die.
So if I make a choice, that's free will, right?
No,
I mean, not
it's just a choice. If I give you $100 and you ain't got to pay it back, you just got $100. But if I give you $100 and you're supposed to pay it back, when it's time to pay it back, if you don't pay it back, there's a consequence for it. So if God gave us this choice, the best you can have a choice, life and death. There's a blessing with one, there's a consequence with another. There's nothing free about either one of them.
No, what I mean by free is I have the ability to make the choice of paying you back or not. Yeah. I'm saying if it was pre-written, it doesn't matter. Once I give you the 100, you have to give it back. It's already written. That's what I'm asking.
Or
even hold on, no, because I want to ask him.
Not pre-written in that context, but because when God said it in front of us, we do make the choice. But we're not. I don't look at that as free. If he got a gun to your head, he's saying you're gonna live or gonna die. How does anybody think that's a choice? If someone has a gun to your head and say, give up the jacket or die, unless you love that jacket that much.
That's the choice. You give it up or die. That is the choice. Right. I'm not saying you free of consequences. That's not what I'm asking. The choice. I'm asking, do you think we all had a choice?
But I don't.
Let's say a baby was born.
I'm gonna answer it two ways. As an Israelite, as me, I don't believe I have a choice. I can only obey God. That's my position. To answer your question, at the flat surface level, carnally, you do have a choice. Because he gave two options, life or death.
This is where
because free will would be having an outcome whatever outcome you would desire.
Life or death thing, ain't nobody making it out of here.
Hold on. What you mean by
nobody making it out of here?
Right, is that why you're saying choice? Because at the end of the day, whichever choice you decide, there's already an outcome where free will would be like if somebody had a gun to your head and said, either you give the jacket up, you live, or you don't and you die. If you could be like, well, I'm going to keep it and still live. That would be more free will than having a choice.
I'm saying right now, we just talking on a podcast. Right. If I stand up right now and just blow your brain out, right now, I just made a choice. Someone who says we don't have free will would say that was already written in your cards. You were supposed to go out that way. Would you believe that?
I don't know if
I wouldn't believe because I don't know. That's tough.
Was it written for you to go out that way? It had to be written if you went out that way, because if it didn't, you would have went out another way.
But I don't know if I would say that, because it wasn't written for us to be disobedient. It was written for us to be obedient. We chose to be disobedient.
What I'm saying is, okay,
that's why
so
free will.
I'm saying this will fuck me up, right?
The whole it was written part.
If everything is pre-written,
it's not.
There should be no such thing as sin in my eyes. How do I create something? I'm the almighty, all-powerful. I create you knowing you're going to go astray, knowing you're going to do this. And when you do it, I punish you. But I created you already knowing this. To me, that seemed more sadistic, like some shit the devil would do than God.
So it sounds like we want God to be a puppet master to just control our strings. Then that's not a God. A God should, just like a father doesn't hold his kids with a string and say, don't go hang with them. He tells them, and then he expects them to obey him, even though he created them. He created his kids, and you created your kids to do what you say, not because you walking them down the street, but because you told them. So God says the same thing. I'm telling you to do this. I created you, which we all know, and you do this and you live. You don't do this and you die. That's unless you want God to be a puppet master, he should be able to tell you that because he created
but everybody checks out one day. So you're going to be gone regardless. I look at it like this, like bro said. I look at it like certain paths is already written. If I choose to live a life of crime, it's already written at some point, I'm going to go to jail. Something is going to catch up and something's going to happen.
You accepted death. That's what I'm saying.
I'm not. I haven't accepted it, but no. What I'm saying is that path is already written. That train is
already written.
It's going that
way.
You're
basically saying it's a track there, but I got the free will to choose which track, which train to get on.
So, but if I choose to go be a working man and certain things, it's already written that predominantly you're going to be successful. These things is going to happen.
And
but if you choose to go astray, that path is already written.
Who controls it?
I see exactly. I
say you control it.
No,
you got the choice.
Right.
I see what
you control it. But depending on what you do, you either live or you die.
I think y'all are saying the same thing.
Nah, because people who
That's why
say
I think
it's pre-written, I always think of babies who catch stray bullets. You telling me God created this child just to catch a stray?
It's possible.
What would be
Because
It is.
Purpose of
I agree with that.
is that a teach? Okay, go ahead.
Because you could pay for what you did in
The
your
previous life.
life.
Yeah, I always say that too.
I agree with that.
I be saying that too.
Yeah,
I want to see if
baby
he's
though
gonna go
is
there.
crazy.
I want to
there
see if
was
he's gonna go there.
Yeah, so because there was a man that was born blind in the Bible, and the disciples asked Christ, said, "Who did sin, this man or his parents, that he was born blind?" That's how you know they taught. Like we're taught that whole die and go to heaven and hell, but when you die, your spirit goes to the Most High. When you see babies born, it's an old spirit attached to a new flesh. That's why even black people, we have this term called old soul. When we see a kid that we think is more mature.
They already know.
Oh, you've been here before.
Right. You say you've been here before because we've all been here before. So if something happens to a kid and we're like, oh, wow, how did that happen? You could be paying for something that you did.
Right.
Just like if you're born blind, you could be paying for what you did in your former life.
I agree with that one.
I
That's
agree with
crazy. I
that.
agree with
because-
Which is why, to go back to why I say we don't have a choice, if you want to make sure you have a better life, choose life. Why would you choose to live a fucked up life knowing that God gonna fuck you up here and fuck you up in the next life?
But I feel like
that's generational curses.
But I don't know that for a fact. I feel like we realizing once we start to know ourselves and you realizing the lessons that you needed to learn as far as the spirit wise. I tell people all the time I use numbers like I might be on level 3, you might be on level 5 spiritually to where you still got to learn things as a person. I might have been a rich person in one life, and like you said, you come back, now you a fucking bum because you treated everybody fucked up in your last life. And now you have to.
You're not going to know that.
No,
like,
but what I mean is, but you got to learn the lessons of how you treated people. So now you have to learn certain lessons in your lifetime. I might have to go through a certain level of pain in this life because I'm still not getting the lessons that I should have learned in the last one.
Yeah, that's one thing we all good at. We all good at learning pain. I guarantee you, everybody in this room knows what it's like for pain. We don't know what it's like for blessings. That's why I mentioned at the end of this current conversation, generational curses. Like what we supposed to establish if we got kids, how do I make sure that my kids can pass down generational blessings instead of generational cursings? But if I'm still living a life that's conducive to cursings, I'm guaranteeing that my kids will also inherit those same curses because we're choosing death. We're not choosing life.
So do y'all believe in quantum physics?
That's crazy. I was just talking about that.
It depends on
'Cause basically
I'm not an expert in quantum physics.
Because you know in quantum physics they
What you
say
about to say?
every variation of you already exists. Maybe in like a parallel.
Like Marvel?
Yeah, like Marvel, like the Spider-Man thing, right?
Right.
So let's say like
the
this
multiverse you talk about.
Yeah, like the multiverse. So this life you chose to be a bum, right? Because of your actions, like he said, or if you believe I was rich in this life. I'm gonna use his example.
Right.
So I was fucked up in this life as a rich man. So when I come back and reincarnate in this version of life, I'm gonna be a bum. But by quantum physics, you are already that, just in a different reality.
You know what I look at that? I look at that as white man's false reality. Because there ain't no verifiable data to back up what they're saying. It's all hypothesis. What's not hypothesis is us dying generational. That ain't no hypothesis. That's pure facts.
I think more.
I can say the same. Hold on, no, because
Nah.
people say the same about the Bible too. It ain't no verifiable facts.
That's
All these stories, we ain't seen no artifacts. We
That's
ain't
cap.
seen the ship Noah was in with the flood. We ain't seen nothing.
I'll give you one example.
We ain't even seen Jesus' body. They ain't found his tomb. They ain't found nothing.
Never gonna find his body.
But that's what I'm saying.
Tomb,
So
the tomb
it's
they
more.
found, wait. Because when I went to Israel, they do have the location of where he was buried. That's different. You ain't gonna find his body because he was resurrected. But historically, they used to say the Bible wasn't real because of certain nations. So there's nations called the Moabites, the Hittites, and stuff like that. And because they didn't have no verifiable data, they said the Bible was bullshit because of that. Until archaeology caught up with the Bible. If I was to go even further, life in the blood. They didn't know that life was in the blood until the 1900s. The reason why we can't eat blood is because it says life is in the blood. So the Bible scientifically knew that there was life in the blood before science caught up. There's ocean springs. There's springs on the ocean floor. They didn't know there were springs on the ocean floor till the 1900s when Jacques Cousteau went down there. But the Bible said that there were springs on the ocean floor before a man could ever have went down there.
See, I don't debate
Religion
that.
is crazy.
Hold on,
man.
I don't debate that because
Right.
there's nothing new under the sun, right? Information is just being passed down every generation.
But
You
think
think we're
about how-
finding new info?
Mhm.
It already existed.
But
Like
I
the
agree with
doggone
that.
tribe, right?
Right.
They're not Christian. They don't read the Bible.
Right.
So
But they
how
can chart
do
the
they know
stars.
they can chart the stars?
Right. Mhm.
Before
Definitely.
we had a telescope.
Before a telescope. Because
And
I think
before
our level of
religion.
intelligence, I think now if we take it off of Bible, our intelligence to me, just my personal opinion, this ain't biblical, this ain't the school or nothing. I think we were far more intelligent back then
Me too.
because they can't recreate like them pyramids and all that other old shit. I hate Egyptians too, but them pyramids, they did build them.
Nigga said I hate
hate
Abraham-
Egyptians is crazy.
Abraham.
Good, y'all hate a lot.
Y'all
Y'all hate a lot of
niggas
shit.
hate everything.
So let me get out for real. Yeah.
Fuck you African niggas.
Yeah.
Fuck everything that is
But
Israelite.
my brothers,
These niggas
I
tweaking.
love y'all to death.
You
I'll
don't
do
because if a
anything.
nigga a half brother, he you
No,
know,
he ain't a brother.
done,
Wait,
yeah.
wait.
That's- you a white man, nigga.
Right.
You
But
bleed
he
that
ain't
white
a brother,
blood,
though.
nigga.
Hey, Bob Marley
Yeah,
died for
yeah,
niggas.
that's
Nah,
crazy.
he ain't black enough.
Bob
Fuck
Marley
that
didn't
white
do that
man.
but spread love.
That's
They hate
crazy.
that
Nigga,
I
I hate
hate
nigga
Bob
that
Marley
spread
because he
love.
got white blood. But for real though, like, so do y'all hey, nah,
crazy.
I was saying, so
Most peaceful nigga.
do y'all believe Jesus is the way?
Absolutely.
So if Jesus is the way,
Mhm.
so every other religion, so
It's
so,
trash.
so no, that's crazy. So what happens to them? Like, for what? No, let me ask you this: is it only one God?
Yes.
So do Muslims and other religions believe in the same God that y'all believe in?
No.
No.
Why, if it's only one God?
Because if their God was the same as ours, wouldn't they have the same name?
So who is to say that their God is right and yours is wrong?
The only way to know that is to battle.
Battle
Hold
what?
on. That's why he said I'm squabbling Muslims.
All right, loaded up. You gonna get this work.
Somebody,
You gonna get this work.
Somebody come battle my mans, and I want to see in
Yeah.
front row. But I don't
Yeah.
understand this because life to me is just a fight against your beliefs.
Yeah, they just
I
believe.
believe in one thing, you believe in another.
That's why you battle.
No, but how can I ever prove you're right and you're wrong? I can't. I can't.
take
Blind
Islam.
faith.
No, take Islam, right? Their Allah is a rock. I'm not worshiping a rock. That
See?
Allah is a meteorite that they said fell from the sky that they have in a box in the Middle East that they circle 7 times, bow down, and kiss that shit.
Okay, so
All
they got the box, and they gonna say, well, your God
Box
is an
crazy
invisible
when you
man
say
in the
it like
sky.
that. They got the box.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
crazy.
they got the box. They got the box with
That's
the rock,
crazy.
right?
Hey, shout out to my Muslims, man.
Hold on,
because
they-
I fuck with them. But that's crazy.
all I'm
Yeah.
saying is all the stories, when you really break down all the religions,
Mhm.
they're all similar.
It sounds some
It's certain things that's tweaked. Like y'all
Right.
will say Jesus is the son of God. They'll say Jesus is the
They say-
prophet of God. He's
Right.
not the son.
Sometimes-
Same person. It's just a little bit of the story is
You know
tweaked.
the only
Bruh,
thing that's not in common?
let me say.
Hold on, let him go.
No, I just want to say one thing. This
Yo,
sometimes
you fucking his head
Yeah.
up right
Nah,
now.
because
I know.
look, you ain't fucking my head up. Nah,
God
this why I don't
damn.
get rid of because he don't want me to say what I'm about to say, bro.
I do want you to say it.
not
Get
you,
it out.
bro,
Oh,
dumb.
oh,
But what I'm getting
I
at.
want him to
No,
answer the
because
question,
I understand.
nigga.
I know.
I
Go
remember-
ahead, answer the question,
Thank
man.
you, I
Go
appreciate
ahead.
This nigga crazy. No, hold on, nigga. Answer this shit. God
You know,
damn.
you know the difference between
I can't fuck with religion
you know the difference
conversations.
between the
Yeah.
Bible and all those other religions? The Quran, for example, emulates the Bible. You show me where the Bible emulates the Quran, you can't. You're not going to see nowhere in the Bible where it talks about Muhammad, this rock. It actually is the opposite.
The Rock is
The
crazy.
Bible says, the prophet of the children of Israel can only be an Israelite. But in Christianity, you can have a white man rule over black people. You can have an Arab. You can have a Chinese. Anybody could be a prophet in Christianity. The Bible doesn't say that. But the Quran will let anybody be a Muslim. So when it comes to the Bible, the reason why the Bible is called holy, the word holy means separate. It's separate from every other religion on the planet. And when it comes to Jesus, we call him Yahweh. We say Yahweh Shai in the Hebrew. But when it comes to Christ, Buddhism, Islam, everybody try to put Christ like Christ went and learned, or they got some teachings from Christ. Christ ain't never went and said we supposed to be with any other belief. The God of the Bible ain't never said we supposed to be with any other belief. That's what makes us greater. We exist without those beliefs.
Okay.
Let me say, God damn.
Go ahead. No, because I don't want him to lose track. You said is it multiple gods? Because the original Bible, right?
Right.
Before they remixed it and shit. I remember I was reading and they said they referred to gods with an S as in plural. But then when they remixed it, they took the S off. So we just believe one God. But the original, it was multiple gods. And then when you go to ancient, like let's say Egypt, you hate Egypt. They have multiple gods.
Got multiple gods,
right?
Right.
And this is predating the Bible. So it's like, why listen to this
Okay.
if this predates this book you telling me is right?
Right.
This existed before that book, and the same fucking stories
that's a brilliant
that's
question.
on this wall
Right.
is in this book. Y'all say Jesus, they would have said Horus, or you know what I'm
Right.
saying? That y'all got the 12 disciples. Well, they do too.
Okay,
It's just not called the 12 disciples.
That's a white man named Gerald Massey that lied on the Bible when he said that, and he lied on Egyptian history. But when you go on them Egyptian walls and hieroglyphs, like you said, they got all that information about.
Yeah, because I've been
Egyptian
there. I was inside
Right.
looking at that shit.
Looking at it, it looked brilliant. But even they wasn't talking about Ethiopians. Even they wasn't talking about Israelites. Even they wasn't talking about East Indians. They was only talking about their culture of Egypt. So what they say about their gods is only about them. So what we say about our God is only about us. So we're not trying to mix with them, and they wasn't trying to mix with us.
I get it, but they got the same story on this
They
continent
do not.
that they got on this continent.
Who?
It be little details tweaked.
You
Is
would
what
have
I
to tell
mean.
me. You would have to tell me who you're talking
No,
about.
like I'm saying, like the 12 disciples, Jesus, all of
Yeah, that's
that.
what I'm
That
saying.
story
That was
exists already before the
Where?
Bible.
where?
I'm saying in the Egyptian.
No, that's what I'm trying to. So when in your time, you look up Gerald Massey. Gerald Massey made up that Jesus had 12 disciples. Horus had 12 disciples. No proof. Jesus was born of a virgin. Horus was born of a virgin. Here's the crazy part. Before I get to Jesus, Horus was not created of a virgin. Horus was created by his father Osiris dying, and then his mother resurrecting Osiris's penis, having sex with that penis, and then that's how Horus was born.
As crazy as that sound, what makes somebody believe that somebody
No.
was born of a virgin?
Right, that sounds
We'll
even
get
more
to that.
crazy.
You know what a virgin is in the Bible? Just a young woman of marriageable age. Mary had sex with Joseph.
So Mary got hit.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
Hold on.
So
What does it say that
It's
exactly?
the understanding of the term virgin is what you're saying.
Right.
Like most people would think means you haven't had sex.
What is a
but-
virgin, bro? What's the definition?
No,
of
I
a
get
virgin?
what
In the
I get what you're
Bible,
saying,
so
but
in today's world, if we didn't have sex, America will call us virgins too. In the biblical world, a virgin can only be a woman because that young girl becomes a virgin when she gets her period or her flower.
This makes
That's what a virgin is.
When
Now
y'all- when-
she's up. Now they look at that of marriageable age because she can produce children.
when I hear things like this, it makes me just think that people
Putting their own twist.
Yeah, exactly.
Ain't no
Interpretation
twist.
on
Credit
it.
to how they
You
want to,
said
because if we look up the definition of a virgin,
Mhm.
and then you tell me, well, in the bibiblical way, where does it say, even in the biblical, in the Bible? No, I'm not. This is what I'm saying. So
Finish
you know,
that. I wanna see.
no.
I want to see.
This is what I'm finna
Like
say. Like, is it definitions in the back of the Bible? Like, hey, virgin means this, not
So
in
remember what
biblical
you-
way. This is what it means. And y'all in Webster dictionary, it's different. So that's what I'm saying.
No, because that's one of my.
Remember
own-
what you said.
ahead, yeah.
Remember what you said about the translations. And I say when you're going from one language to another, you find a word that correlates to it. So in Hebrew, the word is Alma, A-L-M-A. It might be A-L-M-A-H. In English, it's virgin. When you look up the word Alma, it just says a young woman of marriageable age, a maiden. So now what word correlates that in the English is virgin, but their definition of virgin means a woman that's never had sex. So that's why I was telling you, we teach the Hebrew, we teach the Greek, so that you can understand what these words mean. So from a prophetic standpoint, the angel said to Joseph, behold, a virgin shall conceive. That is quoting Isaiah 7:14 of another woman that had a child. And when she had that child, that was her second child. So she was being called a virgin, even though she was already having sex. Because if you take a 50-year-old woman and she ain't never had sex, you're not calling her a virgin. She's just an old woman that ain't had sex. But if you take a 25-year-old girl or woman and she has sex, you're not calling her old. She still would be a virgin.
So Jesus is the Son of God, right?
Yes.
But Mary had sex with who?
Joseph.
She had Jesus, right?
Yes.
So Joseph is God.
Oh, what the?
This is the type of shit I'm talking about.
No,
So
yeah,
no,
because
I know why you Mary, if
Right.
Jesus is the son of God,
Right.
God should have had, that's my son.
But you know,
but then Mary got hit. So Joseph is Jesus' pops.
Joseph is Jesus' pops. But we're all
so we are the son of God.
That's
Yeah, right.
That's somebody
That's basically what he gets to.
We're all the sons of God.
Nigga cut.
But it's good. No. I need this niggas to fight for the podcast right now.
Because you fucking his head up.
You ain't fucking my head up. I understand.
But it's a gateway. Now,
these are questions that I need to ask.
Remember, if anybody paying attention to this whole podcast, I was saying I don't start off flushing my beliefs down your throat. Pause. That's how I said it. That's why I'm recapping.
I seek understanding.
But you just start by having a conversation. So we started off talking about a loudmouth black woman. And now we about to break down Christ being Joseph's son. That's how we do it. I didn't take you to a book, chapter, verse. I didn't say you had to be an Israelite. I didn't say you had to do none of that. I was just me as an Israelite.
Right.
And that spirit resonated enough to where now I can show you Christ sits on the throne of his father David. David ain't God either. The Christian church teaches that God made Mary pregnant. That's nowhere in the Bible. John 1:45 says, we have found him of whom the prophets did write, Jesus of Nazareth, son of Joseph.
Let me ask you one more question then. So let me ask you this. So Christians believe Jesus is the way, and y'all believe that too, right?
Yeah.
So how are they wrong in
because they believe that we don't have to keep God's law. They believe that God loves everybody. Anybody can.
Not all Christians.
Nah,
though.
yeah, because I thought Christians.
Some Christians that might believe you got to keep God's law, but overall, if that Christian is going to church on Sunday, he hates God.
God.
Yeah, that's not even the Sabbath. Yeah,
but they don't. If like you said,
now you indoctrinated, you don't know.
But they love God and they think that that's what it is.
Well, I think what he's. But
no, I know. I know. He's saying. He's saying the truth is that's not the right day to be going.
So
but
not just about the sheep. So it's not about the sheep per se.
So I shouldn't pray on Sundays no more. It's not the holy day.
No. You come to Sabbath service. We do it every Saturday.
What every?
Yeah, bro.
Look,
get it
the reason I don't subscribe to religion is that reason right there.
Oh,
everybody who's the head of their church or whatever they chapter, they all take their own interpretation and then they take that as law because that's the way they understand what they're reading. That somebody can read the same exact scripture, and I get 5 different pastors. They all gonna say it 5 different ways and say why the other 4 is wrong.
That's why you battle.
And then it goes back to, well, how do I prove you're right? Realistically, you can't because there's no tangible evidence other than I believe this so strongly. No. I believe you're wrong. So cool. Give me an artifact. Give me Jesus' bones. Give me find something that anything that's in that Bible that I can sit on this table and go, damn, they found it.
Well, you can find proof of Christ outside of the Bible. The Romans talked about him. Josephus talked about him. So you can find more information about him than probably any prophet in the Bible. But back to when you was talking about 5 preachers, that's why we battle. Like I debate. When I say I battle, you said the whole Loaded Lux thing. If you was to ask Loaded Lux, he would tell you about me. I battle because that's what I do. Because you have to. Let's take John 3:16. For God so loved the world, right? The Christian's going to tell you that world means everybody. I'm going to come and tell you that world does not mean everybody. Now, the only way we can solve who's right or who's wrong is if we battle. And then I'm going to take you to
hold on. That don't solve it.
I'm going to tell you because they're going to say the word world means everybody, right? And then I'm going to take them to a verse where Christ says, I pray for them. I pray not for the world. And then I'm going to ask the Christian, if God so loved the world and Christ says he prays not for the world, how can the world be everybody? And then you're going to watch that.
And then if I'm a Muslim.
Wait. Don't get to the Muslim yet.
And I pull out a Quran.
Wait. No.
You're right.
Stay with the Christian first. Because if he stands that the world means everybody, we're in the battle. And I show him a verse where Christ says, I don't pray for the world. Either there's a contradiction in the Bible or the word world does not mean everybody. And then you're going to see that Christian squirm.
There's plenty of contradictions in the
Bible.
Bible.
Loads of contradictions
Let me ask you this then. Do you believe you are God?
No.
You don't believe no God is in you. But in the Bible it says
no. That's you flipped it though.
So let me ask. You already know where I'm going.
No. What I mean by you flipped it, you say you don't believe no God is in me. The Most High is with me.
He said ye are gods, right?
Right.
So when he says that in the Bible, what does he mean by that?
You're a power, a judge, a ruler, authority.
So if God,
that's what the word God.
So this
Elohim. When you was talking about plural,
when
you was talking about the word God being plural.
Yeah, they said make them in the image of us. So
right.
Like, well, who the fuck is us?
So
if it's just me.
So when in
that's
creation,
what I'm saying.
Listen, you talking to the right nigga. I got you.
I'm trying to get the info for the people. Trust me, I done read all the contradictions, and I have not met anyone who can give me a definite answer other than, oh, you just gotta read the word.
So let me ask you.
Hold on, let me answer.
Goddamn, I have not told you had to just read the word. I've answered you. So when it comes to the us in Genesis, the first chapter, that is not the Most High in Genesis, the first chapter. Like any God, if you're the boss, we're your workers. You the boss. You say, hey, man, I need this whole space cleaned up because we're doing a podcast right after this one. You're going to go upstairs and chill out. When you come back downstairs, you expect this to be done by us.
Who's the us?
Us in this room.
No. If I say let's make us, let's make them.
I'm going to give you who the us. Now, I'm going to tell you who the us is in the Bible. I'm just trying to explain that the Most High gives work. He don't do work. So I'm using you as the boss. You gave work to us. You're the boss. The Most High told Christ and the angels to do the work in Genesis, the first chapter. When you read Colossians 1:15, it says, who is the image of the invisible God, the firstborn of all creation? For by him were all things made that are in heaven and in earth. So the us is Christ and the angels. You don't see the word Yahweh, Jehovah, or Yahweh until Genesis, the second chapter. Now you see the Most High doing something himself. But in Genesis, the first chapter, all that work is done by Christ and the angels. That's why it says, let us make man in his image. The image is our ability to receive instructions, our brain, our thought process. That's the image that it's talking about.
So that's your interpretation.
So
because I know people who will say, nah, that was multiple gods.
Yeah, because they can't answer that.
So the white people are automatically exempt then. Like so the ones that's praying, because you said they can't be Israelites. Like the white men.
Yeah, you can't be
Israelite. So they automatically cooked.
Yeah. What the fuck? What the fuck do white people deserve
I'm not
this planet for so long? Like, what
I'm
do
not saying it,
they've had their kingdom.
Okay, let's get to that. Hold on, let's get to that. Let's get to the white people stuff, right? Because they be going ham. They be having white people licking their boots, all type of shit.
Yeah.
That's right.
Because this is always the question. If you so powerful, black people, we created music, we created arts, we created science, everything, language itself, everything. We the first original man. How did you let these savages not only overthrow your kingdom, but rule it for all this time and never been able to get it back since? With all of this knowledge, and if Jesus is the answer, what's the problem?
That's the word alma virgin. And what it means. You see the different definitions?
Oh, you went back.
No, he trying to prove a point. He went back. That's not proving that shit to me, man. I'm
showing you the definition
I'm not going for that. We know what a virgin is.
Y'all. That's
a virgin is a woman that ain't got fucked. So you feel me? I'm not hearing that. How is the white man ruling over the mighty chosen ones? Because that's never made sense to me. Whether the Africans sold niggas or not, you just said we ain't African. We don't even subscribe to them. We don't come from them. So how could they sell someone that didn't come from them?
When we was talking earlier, and the Most High said, I've set before thee this day life and death. So our living and dying is predicated on our obedience to the Most High. As we are disobedient and continuously disobedient to the Most High, that's why we could be the so-called smartest, strongest, but we lose because of our disobedience to the Most High. That's why. If we obeyed the Most High, we would be above. It's that simple.
That don't make sense to me.
It does make sense.
If the Most High, according to
I don't understand that.
If the Most High hates white people, how are they ruling? Because they're being not beyond being disobedient.
Right.
He hate these niggas.
Right.
But they ain't being punished. They ruling everything.
Because we won't obey. 2 Corinthians, the 10th chapter says, the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through God in the pulling down of strongholds. When our obedience is fulfilled. Isaiah 59 chapter says his arms is not too short to save us. but our sins withhold him from saving us.
So they can live the best life on earth without being obedient, but we gotta obey.
Yep. They're not living the best life. I think they living the worst life.
Man, them niggas living good.
No, the reason.
I'm insane, nigga. Them niggas living good.
What I mean by
you know them people up there, niggas out here miserable.
Hey, look, this is why. Hold on, because that's the reason I don't subscribe to religion. You're not gonna tell me because we're all disobeying God, that's why we're being punished.
I'll give you an example.
To me, that's the programming that comes with religion. You a slave and you deserve to be one.
I never
said
God
you
deserve
so.
to be one.
No, I'm saying the Bible will literally say that.
The
like
Bible don't say
we're
you
cursed.
deserve to be
It damn near
See, the Bible say
the Bible damn near
got slavery in it.
This ain't no disrespect to nobody, but it damn near make you soft. I never forget this.
What make you soft?
No, because it teaches you sometimes to fear so much.
Fear what?
It's
one thing to fear. Fear what?
What I'm saying is fear God.
That's it.
I think there's a difference between
a lot of things.
Go ahead, hold on. Let Callie talk.
If I do one part, we
don't fear God though.
No, but if you do this, it's a sin. If you do this, it's a sin. So it teaches you if you sin, then you go to hell.
If we get high, which is a sin, we get destroyed. We steal, we go to jail. We kill, we destroy. Those are all sins.
So what
if we didn't? If you marry a white woman, that's a sin.
Nah, don't throw them off track. No, stay on. We gonna stay on that topic.
Yeah,
if I'm following the law to the T, me and my tribe, why are we being punished because this tribe
show
isn't?
Me where you follow.
I'm saying you as an Israelite, you and your tribe, y'all following to the T, right? So by you following and obeying God, you're not disobeying. So why would you be punished? Your tribe should be blessed.
I wouldn't be punished, but we not following though.
Y'all not?
I'm sorry. Are you talking about my organization?
Yeah, your organization.
Yeah, I'm fine. I don't have no problems. I'm not oppressed. My people are oppressed. So I go to my people because that's what we're supposed to do. The Bible says, blessed are the poor, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. I would be a selfish ass nigga if I'm living a good life because I'm keeping the commandments of God and I ain't really got no problems. But I see my people out here fucked up and men came and changed my life. I'm not going to go change nobody else's life.
Yeah, but it's fucked up that y'all...
And we're judged as a nation, not with my anecdotal life. My anecdotal life may be okay, but as a nation is how we're judged. Not as an individual.
Nah, I know what you're saying, but it's like certain coding in the Bible. This is why I feel like it was remixed for us to be subservient. You ain't gonna tell me blessed is the poor
to who?
To the ones that you say we oppress.
No,
people are oppressed
we're supposed to be subservient to God.
Every nigga that I personally know feels like they being subservient to God. I don't know too many
how
people
do you
that
judge if they are.
I don't know what they do in their personal life, just like I don't know what you do in your personal life.
I agree.
You can say you holier than thou, didn't have all types of skills.
I don't think everybody feel like they subservient to God. Niggas know they be doing wrong out here. But
I'm saying that I'm saying if you repent, you're forgiven. So a lot of people do know they do wrong, but they feel like, hey, I repent, so I'm forgiven.
But you can't just play with God. He gotta know where your heart at.
Say that again. Because the Bible says if you sin,
bro, it's going way off topic. What I'm saying is, no. I'm saying at the root of it.
Right.
If you're saying we all be subservient to God right now, today, every black across the globe, you telling me all of this systemic oppression and all of that, God gonna snap his finger and it's gone?
Not only simpler than that.
I can't subscribe to that.
Wait. Simpler than that. Imagine if we all obeyed God's laws. It wouldn't be the gun violence that we have. Wouldn't be the drug addiction. Wouldn't be the abortions. Wouldn't be the homosexuality. Wouldn't be the beatings. Wouldn't be the stealings, the killings, the murder. All the things that plagues every neighborhood we have. Wouldn't be sleeping with another man's woman. Wouldn't be sleeping with other nations. If that stopped, and when we was talking about that dollar leaving, because now we would begin to have brotherhood, sisterhood, compassion, and in an instant, we would turn this shit upside down. The same way they utilize everything about us to make America run, it would be reversed. We would make ourselves run. But we don't do that.
So how do we blame the white man?
Say what?
So how do we blame the white man, right? They created the abortion clinics, but our black ass is going in there. They created guns, but our black ass is using them on each other. They put the drugs there. We picked them up, sold them, and used them. So the choice was still on us. Like, When you
That's
say
why
we,
he's
when
saying-
you
that's
say
why
we
he's
not a
saying,
brother,
But that's
like,
the point
we
he's
have
saying. If
the-
you was
But
following
there's
God's
no
law that
denying-
way, you wouldn't be doing that.
There's no denying this why you blame the white man. Because the white man put us in a system to where it gave us a no way out mentality. The white man created that concept. The white man, where I'm from, he created projects where he put us in one neighborhood. Created red line where even in our neighborhood we couldn't get housing.
couldn't buy the property.
Right,
Yeah, I
couldn't
get
buy the
that.
property. He created a environment to where we feel our only way out is if I rob you, if I sell crack to you. Now, does that mean we should have done it? No. So I don't like blame the white man and then absolve us from the wickedness that we did. What I'm saying is no matter what he did, we should have still overcome it. But there's no denying that Nancy Reagan's war on drugs was to make sure white people didn't get high. Ronald Reagan's war on drugs was to make sure we got high. We can't disavow the white man from his role and what he played in the destruction of black people.
No, for sure.
Specifically. And it's only because he specifically targeted our areas. In Jersey City, where I'm from, there's an East Indian side of Jersey City where they have their cities, their stores, nobody bothers them, nobody wants to gentrify it or none of that. But you can't do that in our neighborhoods. We have to have the Chinese place. We have to have this place. We have to have that place. And we welcomed it thinking that we would get ease from the white man.
Is the blame on us though?
That's basically what I'm finna get at.
Is the blame on us at the root of it because we allowed it?
The blame,
If we knew everything, we taught them language, we taught them how to bathe, we taught them all this stuff, and we allowed them to finesse us to this core, to the T that we still talking about it today and still feeling like we oppressed by something that we taught you something and allowed you to be smarter than me and use it on me to actually put me in shackles and whoop feet and do everything.
That's what I'm trying to get.
So what I'm saying is it's both. So I blame the white man and I blame our leadership. Like when I look at the leadership that we had that led us down this path to where when we as Israelites go out there and bring about the crimes that the white man did. Like we ain't angry at white people because they white. We don't give a fuck about them being white.
Right.
They did something that we talk about that they did. And then the leadership that we had tells us we should forgive them. We should turn the other cheek.
The Bible tell you that.
The Bible don't say to do that for white people. It say to do
Man,
that
that
for your
should say
brother.
forgive for your fellow man.
No, it don't.
It say,
The
say
Bible
nigga slap
says-
you, you don't slap him back.
Say turn the other cheek.
For your brother, not for a white man. When Christ said that, Christ was talking to Israelites in the law about your neighbor. Your neighbor is not the white or Arab or African. Your neighbor is the brother that lives next door to you. That's your neighbor. And if we listen to that and actually forgave our brother, we wouldn't do the violence to each other that we do. Let's not talk about white. You know the crazy part? I get more people, if I say we got to come together, if I say we got to hate the white man, brothers that actually actively do harm to black people
They'd be mad
will
at you.
fight me tooth and nail because I'm saying we should hate the white man and love each other. And that is diabolical to me. I don't even understand that.
Let me ask you this then. Did the black man create the Bible?
Yes.
So we created the Bible, and in there it says that everything is about us, basically.
That's
so
our
no,
history.
so no other race should be following that book.
No, they should be under us. Like we should be in the hierarchy. We should be at the top teaching them.
But how did we allow to the point where we believe, most people believe Jesus is
because
a
the
white
white man gives something, the biggest, I'm going to give you one word. The white man gives something to black people that is hard for Israelites to battle. And that's sin. White man gives you drugs, hoes, abortion, homosexuality, violence, everything that we say you cannot do. Whatever you want to celebrate, you can celebrate. Whatever you want to be, you could be. And then we as Israelites come and say, you can't do that because God said to live this way. And if you live this way, it would be better. You would be on top. But the white man's vices is better, even in the pain. Like we become that bitch, that the black woman that we was talking about, that you said got reset the TV, that said that abuse is what she loved. We become the woman that loves the abusive man because of what that man provides.
Do y'all believe in violence?
We believe in self-defense, not violence. Like if you come and try to do something to us, Lord be with you.
Right.
I think the Bible, I think religion, not even just the Bible. I think religion, people, period, makes our people docile.
Not us though.
No, I'm not saying Israelites. I mean black people in general.
Definitely.
You talk to black people.
Christianity, yes.
If we was to say right now, we finna build an army and we finna take this shit back. We finna build the power back. Most black people that's religious gonna say, nah, we're gonna get it in the afterlife.
That's Martin's fault.
We're gonna get it in the afterlife. Nah, but we have Malcolm too.
No, but Malcolm didn't preach that.
I know. This is what I'm saying.
It's even deeper. It's even deeper. It goes even further back than Martin, right? It goes back to just slavery. You ever heard of Birth of a Nation or Nat Turner? How he was one of the slaves.
But he fought though.
But still, when he was learning how to read and he was giving his people the teachings, there were certain things that the slave masters told him to implement into the speech to influence the slaves to be docile. So it started long before Martin, long before Malcolm. This is the 1800s where this programming is being connected to us through the Bible, through people who look just like us.
But I think what he's saying is that if he was to say we need to have this military structure, it would be our own people that are religious that would be like, nah, don't do it. Even if you take Nat Turner's rebellion, you know why his rebellion failed?
Because he didn't have.
No, because black people turned on him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they snitched him out, ratted him out.
Black people that ratted him out because we can
the
also
usual
our own worst enemy. And that's not just for the right. I don't want people to think that black people are the only ones that are their own worst enemy. White people are their own worst enemy. Ask Charlie Kirk. The nigga you can't even ask Charlie Kirk because the nigga died for blood.
Okay, yeah. So, let's get to some real because the religious topic is gonna be a never-ending circular topic. It's just whatever you believe, you're gonna believe. Whatever that person believes, they're gonna believe, and it's gonna be you trying to convince the other person.
You might as well call this a
why they
religious
wrong
episode,
right? You know what I'm saying? Because Messiah gonna have 1,000,001 questions.
Hey,
listen,
you know, but nah,
go ahead.
But you know what's? Hold on.
About 6 months. This nigga gonna have.
He gonna have one on his head. Yeah.
Never.
Ready.
But you know, I'll put it on. I'll put it on. But you know what's crazy?
You ready?
Man, I look like a motherfucking god, nigga.
He got him.
No,
ready.
you know what's crazy though? He on my bumper, but this nigga did the most fucking talking. That's crazy. Asked the most motherfucking questions. This nigga was trying to debate you right now. You should have cooked his ass like you did the Muslims.
I'm gonna cook him, but you can't cook me.
That's crazy.
It ain't no way to cook me.
Yes, nigga, I'm curious, nigga, and I do ask questions because I want some understanding. I'm trying to understand how you think.
No,
you feel me?
And that's why I like that I was able to come on y'all platform, which I have a bomb ass platform, because these type of conversations, be needed, and it's good for people to see us because when people see us on the streets, they have the perception that all we talk is Bible. Like we don't talk. Like we can't talk nothing else. We can't be anything outside of God said, and we could talk more than that.
So and I ain't gonna lie, I feel different cause I got like the the Israelite spirit up in the nigga right now. I'm saying this motherfucker got a nigga aura like I ain't even gonna front to y'all. He might be on to something.
You ready?
Hey,
see Messiah crazy.
Hey, Messiah coming to the corner interview.
Shot through a nigga.
Messiah coming on the corner.
That's crazy, cuz. Damn.
Hey, they got one.
Nah, Sanctum Park, no marks.
They got one.
That's crazy.
So before we get into the Diddy thing, before we get into the Charlie Kirk thing, before we get into the Aisha Curry stuff, she doing some crazy shit.
Aisha Curry? Oh my God.
We're gonna get into that. It's one, I gotta put you in the hot seat a little bit.
Okay, what's up?
I seen you and Wack run a play on one of the homies we had on here, right? He got himself into some hot water behind the female.
Got himself.
My boy GRLA Hebrew. First of all, shout out to GRLA Hebrew, right? This ain't no smear campaign from us. I fuck with bro. We had him on here a few times.
Views and opinions of what I say are not reflective.
Doesn't reflect VwP podcast. Now,
it's good to say that.
What I seen happen on that show was nasty work. That wasn't no Israelite stuff to me. Mm-hmm. He was on a white man platform. Wack come in acting like he don't know what's going on.
Oh, they called you?
Got your number on speed dial. It was like, hey, don't you know such and such? Oh, man, let me call him right now. Wack pretended like he didn't know GRLA Hebrew was going to be there.
Right.
They finessed him and told him, hey, yeah, just come. We ain't going to talk about what's going on. I don't know why the fuck.
You saying no jumper finesse.
No jumper
I don't know
finesse.
why he thought
I don't know why bro thought he was going on no jumper and that wasn't going to get brought up. Wack act like he wasn't on the episode and pop in the middle of the episode, got him on speed dial, boom. You call in,
right?
Air him out. I go, hold on, wait a minute. Ain't you an Israelite? How
Right.
you airing out another Israelite publicly on a platform with 4.8 million something subscribers and airing out y'all dirty laundry? This supposed to be your brother who said he came to you for help, and his request for help wasn't met.
Right.
So what's going on with that?
All right. So first of all, I never knew that was even live. I didn't even know that was a live stream going on. I was in my class. Wack calls me. I answer the phone. I thought it was a conversation where they just all happened to be in the same space. I didn't know it was live until the shit was over. If I would have known it was live, I would have said worse shit. Be fair. I would have said more than just how you gonna hit me bigger than something you get hit with, because there's more to it.
So you saying you would have blasted him worse if you knew?
Yeah,
if
I
you
would
knew.
have.
But isn't this your brother?
Let me tell you, the Bible
He an
says-
Israelite, you an Israelite. Whether y'all get along or not.
the scriptures say that you're not supposed to have respect of person. For somebody in my position or his position, you know, if you're a hypocrite, it's going to get exposed. And that is such an egregious act, not just what he did, but who he hurt. GRLA Hebrew is a prominent cat all over. You, like you say, you know him. He's been on your platform. He's been on No Jumper before and stuff like that. Imagine all the people that he destroyed when they find out that he taking it up the ass by his woman. When we're not supposed to be homosexual. We're not supposed to be that. We're not supposed to live that life. You know what would be worse? If I actually said nothing at all. If I defended that act. Then they would say, Cap, you ain't no different than the preacher. The preacher protect the preacher. The Roman Catholic protect the Roman Catholic. We don't hide sin as Israelites.
He denied us.
If he would have listened, the help that you talk about that he asked for, it was offered to him. And if he would have listened and sat down and not been so public, he probably would have got the help that he asked for.
I'm not saying
He
hold on.
denied the allegations though, right?
No, he didn't deny it. What I'm saying is,
but let me-
I'm not saying, I'm not saying that you gotta hide sin. I'm saying this is y'all organization, this y'all brotherhood.
He's not in our organization.
He's an Israelite. So in my eyes,
Right.
you're Israelite, you're Israelite.
I understand.
You know what I'm saying? You might be from
Right.
Insane Crip, but you might be from Young Foundation. You might be from Baby Insane. You
I
might be
understand.
from a
Right, I
different
understand
generation.
what you're saying. Right.
Still insane. So if something happened and then an insane was to be airing out another insane on a public platform, to me, that make your whole organization.
Now,
look bad.
before we even get to that public platform, because we wouldn't accept his egregious act, and when I'm saying we, I'm talking about the Israelite community that you're talking about. He said he ain't an Israelite no more. Before that No Jumper episode, he said, I'm not an Israelite no more, and said we aren't Israelites no more.
I thought he was stepping down from.
I
his
thought he had to
position.
step down from his position, but he was like,
Okay,
I can't leave because of what happened.
Let's do chronologically. His homie, you want to talk about somebody that was fucked up. His homie in his school told, like, we only knew this because his wife goes to some cat who was chilling with homosexuals too. That whole Sakari got a problem with homos because the cat that told on him, best friend is a homo, and he would leave the Israelite feast days to go chill with his homosexual friend. And when he found out that information about GRLA Hebrew, instead of him going to GRLA Hebrew, at least to say, hey, I'm about to do this live stream, is this true? He went straight to the internet. That's how we found out. If there's anybody that's unbrotherly, it would be him. Now, once we know about it, we hold him to the fire. He say, I'm gonna step down. As he's not stepping down, because I'm in some back chat that he has, maybe like a week or so past, he say, should I get back online? That let me know he full of shit. So if he would have stepped down truly, if he would have got the help that we asked truly, then maybe nobody says anything to him. He would never be on No Jumper for that to happen.
So when you say step down, truly, does that mean he has to like just discard and
that's what he said
low?
he was gonna do. Like, I didn't tell him to do that. He went on some live stream, gave some fake tears because no tears came out his eyes, and said he was stepping down as the leader of the group and passing it to his other. Sidebar, I don't know how any man could still be in Sakari or even call yourself Sakari. Your leader was getting banged in his ass. I'm sorry. And then after that, he said, because we don't accept it, you turn it into another person. You put them glasses on.
Nah, because it's gonna get hot in here,
Yeah,
cuz.
no problem.
Yeah,
so
I'm finna grill
when
you
he
on this
says when he says we are not Israel, that we are not Israelites because we won't accept his nasty lifestyle, I'm treating him like a heathen, which is what the Bible says. The Bible says you treat him like a heathen. When it comes to Wack, no, Wack did not know that he was going to be on that show. Poetic Flacco said it. They had agreed to not bring it up. Like you said, they agreed to not bring it up, but Wack wasn't a part of that.
I think that was the 52 fake.
Nah, but even if he was, I think GRLA Hebrew was ready to just face it. I think he knowing you not know. It's no way nobody. His intelligence, I believe, he was just ready to think, but it came out and it didn't look as good as he probably thought in his mind.
You think he went up there to go talk about that?
I'm not saying he go up there to talk about it. I mean, he was ready to face it if it came about.
He faced it already. They already had that back.
That's my point. So he has to be ready for that during any time.
I'm saying
he goes on
if
the
I'm going and I tell Flacco, hey, this is one thing I don't want to talk about. I'm only coming if we don't, you agree that we're not going to talk about this.
Right.
I don't think he was ready to face it on that level.
Otherwise, like you said,
otherwise, why would you say
that conversation?
Exactly. So I don't believe
explain yourself at that point then.
Because you already in the hot seat. It's too late.
Because Wack wasn't going to let the shit go. That's the normal day Wack goes to No Jumper to film their No Jumper set that they play on Sundays. So when Wack goes in there and he's sitting there, then he hears GRLA's name, then of course Wack gonna run the content. Because like Wack said, if he don't run that content, I'm gonna say, damn, I'm gonna say to Wack, hey man, you ain't say nothing to GRLA. He was right there. You could have asked him directly. So Wack, being a man of his word, as he's always been, do the content. He calls me. I didn't know until after the exchange happened. I text Wack. I said, yo, that was crazy. Then he calls me and says, yo, that was live. Then I go and watch the live and see that it's live.
So did y'all have issues before that happened? Or did y'all beef start because of that?
Well, I don't have no beef with him at all, first of all.
Whatever you want to call it, whatever word you want to use. Did you and GRLA Hebrew have tension?
No, we had no issue.
Prior to that?
No.
So y'all tension started when he got outed for that by the female, right?
Yeah, I don't have no tension, but the issue, I would just say issue.
Okay.
The issue started when we found out he was getting banged in his ass by more than one woman.
All right, I'm not here to
buying dildos.
I saw the text. I heard about the text.
Kit was purchased. That's what he said. He said, how you gonna hit me with something bigger than what I hit you with? That's what he said.
You gotta want to keep putting emphasis on that shit.
That's what he said.
Okay.
He said he started talking about the first time. It was easy. He said, you used to get in that position. I'm not used to getting in that position.
Let me ask y'all this though. So y'all
still fucking with him?
Nah, let me ask you this.
No, I want to ask. I'm answering for me. I'm answering for me.
Okay.
I still fuck with him, right? I don't look at him. No, I'm not a part of y'all thing, right? Whatever Cut do in his bedroom with his lifestyle, that's between him and his woman, right?
As a man, no, out the window.
I'm taking it out. I'm taking it out.
So
we can say
so as a man, that's your man's right there?
No, I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm gonna keep it 100. Technically, you could be like, damn, that's some weird shit. I wouldn't look at nobody away for saying that's weird. But you
still fucking with him. That's what I'm asking.
If he want to come on the show, I still fuck with him. I wouldn't look at him like.
I'm not talking about the show because content is content. That's different.
I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna keep it real.
Wack taught me that shit. Content is content. So I ain't talking about on the show. But them my niggas right there.
Yeah, for sure.
Are you fucking with them niggas like that? These your niggas right here.
I think.
Hold on.
None of us did that, so
Let's clarify.
So,
we never was niggas in that aspect. And like we just hanging out. Like this my boy. He come in town.
But that's what I'm asking.
He say, what's up? We run content.
A person like that, you find out they doing that. Is that still your boy?
If this is like, say this is my best friend. Yeah, that'd probably still be my homie. I look at Cud like, damn, Cud, you did some weird shit, bro. Yeah. But I wouldn't be like, I'm going to disown you because you and your woman did some shit. I can see if you did it with a man, then I'd be like, oh yeah, Cud, you on some other shit.
What the fuck is the difference?
I'm just keeping it real.
A dick in the ass is a dick in the ass.
I'm not saying it's not. I'm saying by the since you pulled up, look, I'm gonna pull a you on you.
Okay, go ahead.
You pulled up the definition of virgin from the Hebrew. If we look up the definition of homosexual, you have to be with the same sex. It has to be man, woman. So by the definition of a technicality, I cannot say he is a homosexual.
I think it's worse.
You sticking something up your ass, you gay.
I'm saying by the definition, we only going by the definition.
I understand both sides.
We're not going by my personal belief.
He took a loophole. It's worse than homosexuality. He took a loophole for his hole.
I'm saying you. No. Hold on, Connie, because he trying to put me in the corner, right? It's not gonna work.
I ain't
You
trying
went
to put
by.
you in the corner. I'm just
I'm
saying.
gonna take the glass off. Hold on, no. I got it.
You
By
ain't got
your
it. Ain't no
logic-
way around it.
Nah,
You
it's
take
ways
something up your
around
ass,
it.
you gay.
Okay, that's cool. That's your personal
He got
belief.
that crown on.
That's cool. You got the crown.
I got
That's cool. I'm saying him and his wife did something that most men ain't gonna agree with. But by definition of what a homosexual is, you couldn't call him a homosexual for doing that. You can say he got a sick kink. You can say it's weird. You can say a whole lot of stuff. But by definition of what a homosexual is, if we look up the definition, does it say man with woman?
It doesn't say man.
Now I'm gonna say it's some gay shit because I still think it is, but disowning
It's some
somebody,
Diddy shit. It's some
disowning
Diddy
somebody, like if he was a bro of mine that I've known forever, we done fought back to back, gave me the shirt off your back, whatever. I don't think I could disown you for something that you do in the privacy of your own home if it's not harming anybody at that point. That's just my
May
opinion.
the Lord be with y'all, brothers.
I'm saying.
Do I think
your
it's
homie did
it's
some
gay?
freaky shit
Yeah,
with his
but-
wife, and I'm gonna be like, fuck them
That
15
ain't
years I
freaky
knew you.
shit, man.
It's some Diddy shit. I'm gonna say Diddy. He did some Diddy party
Diddy
shit with his
gay?
wife. Now Diddy gay as hell. Diddy like, man, Diddy be doing some whole wild shit, putting shit on.
So-
the
so-
Diddy
So,
doing all
but
type of crazy shit.
I'm not negating that it's gay. I'm not
Diddy
negating
doing
that.
some wild shit.
I'm not negating that it's homosexual activity. I'm just saying that when it comes to having a homie that you've known for that long, you think you could look bro in the eye and be like, hey, we not cool no more. Because it's something that wasn't supposed to came out. I think so.
I would.
I think
You
so
gonna
because
look at
again,
him
I'm not
He
really
wouldn't even be a
I'm not
man
really
to me
in
no
that
more.
I'm not really in that I'm not in that space with you, right? Like
Right.
I'm not in that space with you where you doing whatever you doing. Like when we around each
You
other,
find
we
out
doing
a
what we
video, a
doing.
nigga putting some shit up his ass by himself without no girl or nothing.
Yeah, that's different.
I think that's
That's crazy.
gay
That's
as
to me.
hell.
That's
It's that's what he's basically saying. It's not no gray areas. Like
We're not saying it's a gray area. I'm saying he called him a homosexual. So I said, what is the definition of a homosexual if we going by definitions? I'm not saying he is or he not.
Yeah, I just think that again, like if at that point in time, if you done been through all that with him as a boy, as your homie, to disown him for something he's done sexually, to me, that's a little crazy to me. I think he didn't snitch on you. He didn't try to fuck your girl. He didn't rob you. He didn't set you up. He didn't try to do something to your family. Like all the things that we really would hold near and dear that you would off a nigga for, he didn't do to you.
All
So
right,
what would I have?
That falls under
why would
what is
I-
that? The BDS? What do they
Nah,
call
right.
that?
You know what I'm saying? Why would
I understand that.
BDSM.
It's
It
weird,
will
but it
fall
ain't-
under that, right? It's a
No.
whole category of BDSM where people are in this lifestyle, right? Like swingers and shit, they call it the lifestyle. You find out your homie is in that lifestyle with his wife.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Just him and his wife. You would disown him?
Me? I'm not. I don't think
Let
so
me
because
ask you-
again,
I'm
I'm not in
let
that
me-
space.
Yeah, I wouldn't fuck with him no more. I'm good.
Let me ask you this though.
I
So
would never look at him as a
by y'all being
No, you gonna look at him different for sure.
Yeah.
by y'all
You never
being,
gonna look at him the
by
same.
y'all being the way y'all carry yourself as Israelites, why? Because you said you would have went harder if you would have found out he was on live. Like, even if he agreed to like step down, why? So y'all believe in kicking a nigga while he down then?
No, if he would have stepped down and stayed down and been more humble about the egregious act that he committed, I don't think nobody would have talked about him the way he did.
Question.
It's
What do you
because-
think he? So after he said he stept down, did he continue to push?
Yeah, he waited like 2
continued to
weeks
move?
and then he started.
He got
being
back
out
on
there.
he went back- he went
got
back and doing it.
online,
Okay.
started
So-
getting
But he
in
wasn't the
and doing all
leader
that
though.
shit.
He just got back online.
I can't say I can't say what he was or wasn't, but I just know that he didn't hold what he said he was gonna do.
It's like basically disassociate from this. That's
Yeah.
what you getting
At that point, are you
Because,
feeling like
if he was
it's-
in our organization, we would have more control over what would happen to him.
Would he be a
Because
part of your organization?
Anybody could be a part of our organization. Anybody can repent.
Would he be able to be a part of your organization
I just
if he
said
got
anybody.
caught? But
Oh,
you
oh,
wouldn't
wait.
be his homie. See, that's what I'm saying. It's like a contradiction.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah, I couldn't be around him no more.
So
He
if,
could be
if
a
you were the
brother.
leader
Listen,
of the
you can
organization,
always be a brother. You can always
But he's not.
be a
But
brother.
he's not a brother to you no more.
No, he is a brother. That's Gorilla's still a brother. I'm just saying I don't look at him the same no more.
You say you can't
He
fuck
couldn't
with
be.
him.
Yeah, not in the capacity that I used to deal with him. I cannot. Because
so
I
how
don't
would he be
trust
able to
him.
stay a part of your organization then?
He would get bust down. Maybe he just
Bust
be a
down
brother.
is crazy.
Yo, Yo,
Bust down, Tatiana. God damn. Pause. I don't even use pause, but god damn.
My bad, man.
Turn the
My
damn
bad.
dance,
So-
girl.
so-
You gotta
Let me
pause
stop
that
fucking
shit.
with
But
you.
so for you, so for you, it's more of like a.
Nah, when you say
he's not
bust down, what do you mean?
representing.
Yeah, he couldn't represent. So maybe I say it clearer. Anybody can fall.
Mhm.
Anybody can come back up. But he wouldn't be, in my eyes, the same person that he was before we found out what he was doing in private.
Okay, so if he repented to God, he went and repented to God, and then he said, you know what? I'm gonna get back online. I ain't gonna let this defeat me. I ain't gonna let this be my lifetime story. You saying it's not good enough repenting to God, he gotta do what you feel?
I
'Cause
don't
you
know if I
said-
could believe if he repented
In a
about
day or
that
two, yeah.
life when he didn't repent about his gang life. He went from saying, after he said, we're not Israelites anymore, he went and said he never left the gang life as well. So now that's another life. You can't be an Israelite and be a gang member.
You can't?
No, they don't go together.
Shit, I know hella Israelites that's gang members. And they'll
They
still
not
tell
in my
you,
school.
I'm still from where I'm from.
Do
I'm
they-
just
are
not
they active?
actively gang banging.
Are they active
No.
in the gang, doing the works in the gang?
I don't know how
promote-
active, but
promote-
they'll tell you I'm not
promoting the
active
gang?
anymore.
Right. So
But
that
they
man
will
said-
tell you I'm from such and such.
So that man said he was about God and Gumby. That's what he said.
So you basically
So
saying
now,
you can't. You basically saying
imagine
you
the
can't
people
serve
that-
two masters.
Thank you. So now he goes from being an Israelite to being about God and Gumby. God
What you
said
mean
can-
about God and Gumby?
You got to ask him what he means. I don't. That's just the statement that he said.
You saying
on No Jumper.
Gumby from Hoover?
Yes. That's what he
Because
said.
what I took it as when I heard it is, hey, I got put on Hoover. I never got put off. So even though I'm an Israelite, I'm still from Hoover. I'm
He
not
never
actively.
said that until after he said he was no longer a part of the Israelite community and we aren't Israelites. Then he said that. Well, we call that, like Adam and Eve when they covered with to put the fig leaves and covered with another spirit. He left the Israelites to go be back up under that. But he still wants you, when I'm saying you, not you yourself, but he still wants the people to believe that he's about this. So it'd be different if he publicly said he was like that beforehand, then we would know exactly who he is.
I don't
but-
think he ever shot. I don't know, because when I met him, that's how I
I've never
found out
heard
he
him
was from
say,
there.
I'm about God and Gumby. It's always been all praises due to the Most High and his son, Yahushua. That's what it always was. Now, when we find out what he did, he leaves the community, says we're not Israelites. Now it's about God and Gumby.
So if I become an Israelite, you saying I got to denounce whatever gang I'm from.
Yes.
I got to get put off.
I don't know the politics to tell you what.
No,
what
I'm
that
asking your
entails.
politics. I want to join your chapter.
You cannot be an Israelite and still be actively in anything that you was that was against God. It could be anything. It don't have to be a set.
What
It
you
could
mean
be
by
anything.
actively?
He's saying you just can't claim it. You got to
No,
be.
no. Let him say it. What you mean
If
by
you was a
actively?
drug dealer, you can't be a drug dealer. If you're a drug user, you can't be a drug user. If you're in a gang, you can't be in a gang. If you're in a church, you can't be in a church. If you're a Muslim, you can't be a Muslim. You can't be nothing that's against God once you come up in here.
Okay, so if you're in a gang,
Hmm?
you can be a gang member, meaning you're actively gang banging. I mean, a gang banger, like you still in the street putting in work, doing this, doing that. Or you could be a gang member. Like I used to be active, I'm not active anymore. I
Right.
might work, I got kids, but I'm still from where I'm from. You're saying to join your
I don't.
organization, I have to get put off of this one because that's the only way you could not be from this gang is to get put off.
if
That's
that-
what I'm asking.
Okay, I don't know your politics like that.
No, that's
but-
why I'm giving you the
But that's what
terminology.
it sounds like. Yes, you would. Yes, I would say yes.
So
'cause you can't-
anybody who didn't get put off and is saying they're Israelite, they're not a real Israelite.
not to me, not to my school.
All right.
But why do you think you would need to? And this is a question for y'all, I guess. Like, why do you think
I
if you're
can't
trying to
say-
change your life, you would need to still hold on to
Oh.
that? Like, what would be the point of still holding on to gang ties if you're gonna go do whatever else in life? Like, you want to be a born again Christian, whatever it is, and that's something that you have to go do. Why would you? Like, what would be the point of saying I'm this religious dude, whatever, but I'm still from this block or whatever? Like, I don't understand the point of still holding on to it.
Because it's like when you get put on, you already knew the rules of it.
Mhm.
Like this is a lifetime thing unless you get dishonorably discharged. Like the
Like the
honorable
military,
discharge
right.
is to stop actively doing what you're doing. So
Mhm.
most people, they're not gang banging at this age. They probably moved to another fucking state, another city. They work for the city now. They successful in life, got wife, kids. But this was once a part of their life. It's like a fraternity, right? You alpha, mega, whatever. You graduate college, you're not out there stepping still. But that was a part of your life at one time in life, and you still recognize being that, even though you're not technically still that. So it's like kind of like the same thing.
I get that. I think there's a negative connotation that comes with it. So maybe that's maybe what I've been fed, and that's why I'm even asking that question, if that makes sense. But when you break it down and in that way, it makes sense as to why you still hold on to it. So,
but yeah. So what you think about Diddy, man? Before we get up out of here,
Oh,
you think he got off? You think they did him dirty?
That's pause.
No, y'all, this nigga. I keep forgetting cut from me. Hey, he be getting paused us.
Get back.
I think
the New York niggas pause everything.
I think like Diddy is first of all, I don't know what he did from an American law standpoint. I don't know what he did that even with the 4 years that he got warranted 4 years. Well, we found out that he's a freak.
Right.
Like that's what we found out. We found out that Cassie played the role in a lot of that. It damn near sound like a shaming, more so. And it more so shows how black people love sexual deviancy, because nobody's gonna not mess with Diddy anymore. That's what I'm looking at. I'm not really looking at the 4 years. He already did like a year and some change. I don't know how the feds work, but does he have to do the whole time? What he got?
85.
He got 14. He
but
got
don't they got
14
programs and shit that could take that down?
It might be less time than that now. I don't know how the feds work either, but it might be.
He got 14 months time served.
The saddest part about the Diddy, about the Diddy thing is when he come home, it's gonna be as if he never left.
Facts.
Because sexual deviancy is the one thing in the black community that doesn't get frowned upon.
He finna go crazy.
Somebody had him booked for a speech next week. They thought he was gonna get out.
Nobody cares that he was licking cum off of a man's chest.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Nobody cares about that. It's business as usual. You know how I know? Because when R. Kelly, when we saw him pee on a girl, nobody didn't stop playing Chocolate Factory. They kept playing Chocolate Factory. Nobody stopped it. So that's kind of where I look at with the Diddy. Diddy.
Was it R. Kelly actually peeing? Like, was people mad? No, was people mad that he pissed on the girl? Was people mad because she was young?
She was young, yeah, because she's a young kid.
So pissing on the girl is cool.
Right. No, I don't. But
I wouldn't do that.
GRLA might know.
I had a girl ask me piss on her before.
Yeah.
I pissed on a bitch before.
Yeah, I'm saying. I ain't gonna lie.
I pissed on a bitch before.
I've been in the shower with my girls.
Yeah, I've pissed on a bitch before.
That's cap. I don't believe that.
I'm serious as
Bro,
fuck.
that's so my bitch was like, I like piss. I like to get peed on.
Me, I'm cool. I'm like, I don't know what
I ain't
Dubai you done went to.
Bitch, I get peed on.
I'm cool off that.
That's on you. Yeah.
I'm cool.
Yeah, so that's how the Diddy thing. It's gonna galvanize. Cool. Like,
don't judge me.
We have a weird sometimes. Like when listen, man. I hope that crown save you, boy. Hope that crown on your head save you, because that's some nasty shit. I'm wondering who
it's
I'm
not
sitting
me.
with out now. I'm wondering who I'm sitting with now.
It's not me. Yeah.
It's not. So, but I think Diddy is not going to teach black people a lesson. We didn't learn nothing from the Diddy trial except how freaky he is and how people may try to emulate that freakiness. It just exposed black people's sexual deviancy in the black community.
Do you think they were showing like this was a lesson? Like y'all get out of line.
Oh, the other lesson is when you live like a white man, he'll shut you down whenever he feel like it.
That's basically what I'm getting at.
Because Diddy felt comfortable enough to live like a white man, to be like a white man, to be in that sexual deviancy that he's in. And when he got too big for his britches, they said, sit down, nigga. Because they wouldn't have, let's say, because people like to say, well, he wanted his own liquor, wanted to control his own liquor, wanted to do this, wanted to do that. If he wasn't a sexual deviant, it wouldn't have mattered. Maybe they might have tried to unalive him, but it wouldn't have mattered. But because he's a sexual deviant, he became an easy target to expose. And so they just exposed his dirty laundry to the world.
Did they really expose it? Because all of these rumors been going on for shit since I've been a kid.
To the world, I think so, yeah.
Yeah, exposed in the way where
I think the industry for sure.
I just think globally,
industry for sure.
Industry. Like when I say expose it to the world, like you said, like I knew about in the 90s, you know, him supposedly with Mace and doing all that type of stuff. So it was always like that, but it wasn't in the world. It wasn't on TMZ. It wasn't on Daily News. wasn't on the internet like that. Now it's exposed, and he's found guilty of being a freak. That's what he's guilty of. That's what I mean by exposed. And so, what does it do for the black community? Nothing. It hurts the black community.
What, him getting out?
Yeah, him only getting 4 years hurts the black community.
You think he should have got more time?
Yeah.
How does that hurt the black
but
community?
you said he didn't do nothing but be a freak.
Because then the black community would feel like maybe I shouldn't be a sexual deviant.
Man, hell no.
That's crazy. To wish
I don't
more.
think so. I don't think nobody
Black
gonna think
people,
about
black people about to party up.
But look,
black people about to party up and be more sexual deviant.
Nah, that's cool though.
What happened
people gonna be
is not
people
gonna stop black people.
People that's freaky like that gonna be freaky like that. But
What I'm
saying,
going to jail gonna
but
stop that?
thinking him getting more
But
time
should we be?
for being a freak,
Should we be?
I think like
Should we
I feel like you
do-
should live your life the way you want to.
What I can say is that is a big.
That's the choice. See, that's the
It's a
choice.
big.
Yeah, that's the freedom. That's the free will.
That's
But
the death.
that don't mean that you got consequences
That's
for
the
it.
death. That's
Okay,
death.
hold on.
Yeah.
Okay, so if I got 3 wives,
I got a couple wives.
okay, to some that's being the sexual deviant
How?
because they believe in monogamy. They believe you should only have one woman, and if you got anything outside of that, you a sexual deviant. But that's their belief system.
Right.
So who's right and who's wrong?
I would say what God said you could do determines what's right and what's wrong.
So how many wives God said we can have?
There is no number. You're supposed to use wisdom on how many wives you have. Know your limitation.
Hey, so y'all hear that? So when I pop up with 5 wives,
But you can't now. Here's where I would be off. If I was sleeping with all of them at the same time and stuff like that, doing freak offs like that, then I would be off. But you can't have threesomes. Fucked you up. You can't have threesomes and no shit like that with the women.
according to who?
So having a
According to
threesome
God.
with a woman is sexual deviance.
Yes. Absolutely.
I guess I'm a deviant then. Cause
Well, why?
I mean, I guess I'm a deviant.
From a
then.
religious
Why?
standpoint,
It
it makes
That's why
sense.
but that's why I don't subscribe to religion.
It makes sense from
You
a
know
religious
why?
standpoint
Like I
from
said,
us.
Why do it
because
make sense?
Outside
Well,
of
That
because
that,
don't make sense.
Well, no, I'm saying from a religious standpoint, it does make sense because again, when you think of sex traditionally, it's between man and woman, 2 people, not 3, not 4. It's not a party. We're not doing all the
I
extra
get
shit.
that.
Hold on, who
I
said
get
that?
So
I get that too, though.
No, I'm
Bro,
saying who said that?
Because it's like basically
again,
being gay.
again,
Yeah,
I'm not-
or the
I'm not-
females
No,
being
no.
gay.
If you got 2 females, they're not doing nothing together. You just fucking them both.
Nah, but that's not really just threesome. You just hitting one and hitting the
it's
other.
unlawful
Yeah.
for them to be around each other's nakedness like that, lesbianism. And half the time, the women is only being, you actually, if you want to go into the psychology, you're actually molesting them by forcing them to do something that they only doing because they think that's going to keep you.
You're not forcing them.
Come
Some
on,
girls
bro.
like girls.
Come on.
Forcing them is crazy. You said you
My
molested
nigga
them.
said
is
you
crazy.
molested them. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
If a girl,
These niggas with their
if
own
I-
interpretation.
Nah,
It's
listen,
crazy.
That's
A
facts
girl-
because no. What if I got a girl that go like and she be like, "Oh damn, babe, like, oh I like her," and she bring her to me.
a
Like,
girl that liked girls was molested.
I don't think
That's
every
not
girl.
true.
That's
not true,
cap.
bro.
Every girl that like
Nah,
girls.
nah, hell no.
I don't
believe
know,
that. I
bro.
don't believe that shit. I don't believe that shit.
That's law.
What's the law?
What
I
you just said.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
law.
Okay, so if you an older guy, say you 35 and your girl is 25, y'all got a 10-year age gap, and you finesse her to marry, not even finesse, you get her to marry you. Do you feel like you are grooming her because she's younger than you? Because there's
No.
people will say you're grooming her.
Huh.
She's only fucking with you.
She's legal
Be-
age. It's only she's of age. She's 25.
Legal by
I'm
whose
35
standards?
by biblical standards.
So what's the biblical age? Because they was like 13 getting pregnant back then
Where
in the fucking Bible.
There's nowhere in the Bible.
Bro,
where a 13-year-old was
What
getting
was
pregnant.
the life expectancy back then?
Longer than what it is? Like Abraham, if we go by, I think Abraham was in his 90s or lived in his hundreds before he passed away. So in the Bible, when a woman gets on a flower, what do you do with a flower? You let the flower blossom.
What's the flower?
So a cycle, a period.
Right.
So
So,
I'm
you
gonna
get
give you a
your
biblical-
period like 12 or 13.
So now I'm going to give you a biblical answer. In Luke 2:36, it says, Anna married her husband 7 years from her virginity. So she got on her flower, let's say at 12 or 13, 7 years from that, she was either 19 or 20. Now that's an age that you can find in the Bible. 7 years from the time she got her flower.
Like I said, I'm not a Bible scholar. What is the legal age?
I just
in
gave
the
you an
telling you.
example.
He's
No,
telling
no,
you.
no, no,
No,
no.
it's
He
no-
said what age she did. I'm saying, but what
That's-
is the legal age in the Bible? Because if you say on your flower, I'm gonna say, nah, that nigga pedophile. Because
No, I
Women
didn't say,
get
I
that-
didn't say on your flower. I didn't say, I
He said 7 years after.
I gave an example.
no, he said Anna.
No. I'm using Anna as an example of how they looked at when a woman should get married.
He asking you for a clear number.
I'm asking for one definite. I'm not asking for Anna. I'm saying, does the Bible give a clear set number?
The Bible doesn't give a clear number. So I'm giving you a clear scriptural answer of what they did with a girl. That girl got on a flower. 7 years from that, she was married to her husband. So let's say if you get on your flower at 12 or 13, she was 19 or 20 when she got married.
So it's girls nowadays getting on their flowers at like 9, 10. Do they still count that?
Well, I think that got more so to do with the hormones.
Yeah, the chemicals in the food and shit like that.
No,
I don't think
the natural cycle.
Sleeping with a 9-year-old, 12-year-old, 13-year-old, you a disgusting.
No, I ain't saying sleep with that. I mean, you said like 7 years after that, right?
In Muslim, his wife was like what, 9 or something like that. Muhammad,
9. Yep.
They practice that over there.
Yep.
But to them, their ideology is right. To us, it's sick. That's why I'm like, I don't know, cuz
9 is crazy.
9 is sick. Yeah, that's what they believe. That's why I could never subscribe to being a Muslim.
I don't think all Muslims believe that though.
But the problem
you have
with
to
that,
though.
Yeah, that's what I'm about
Nah,
to say.
Malcolm,
you have to. That's the fucking
Malcolm didn't believe in no shit like that.
No. But the problem is, if you tell somebody to be a Muslim and they read that Quran and Muhammad did that and that woman was at that age, then if I want to be like Muhammad, I can do that too. Can't say that. Just like when Muslims got mad at me because you could beat your woman. And I told them, I said, I don't believe that the Nation of Islam teaches that you can beat your woman.
No.
But if you tell me I can believe in the Quran and the Quran says I can, the Nation of Islam can't tell me I can't if you're telling me the book that I get my spirituality from says I can.
That makes sense.
Should they want to be more like Muhammad or Malcolm? Because
They
Malcolm
should want to be more like Commander Junior Hunter in the
no, that's why I'm asking though. In that sense, because Malcolm changed his stance once he found out certain information.
But Malcolm fucked up because that stance started including white people and Arabs and shit.
Malcolm, my nigga hate the white people. Oh, that's crazy.
So what would you tell someone like Steph, who Aisha Curry now saying she regrets being married, she never wanted kids, she really wanted a career, and he don't even understand her. So to me right now, in my eyes, that marriage is done. She's already mentally checked out.
What she wants is for Steph to crash out. If I was Steph, I wouldn't crash out.
He ain't crashing out.
Like, first of all, like Aisha Curry represents every black woman that hates their man. Because that's a lot. It's a lot of black women, Aisha Currys, that see the success. Like, black women say all the time, we want a successful man, we want a man to do this, we want a man to do that. And then when they get one, they envy him. They're jealous of him. Aisha Curry has, first of all, if she didn't want to have kids, you know what she wouldn't have did? She wouldn't have had sex with him. If she wanted to pursue her career, you know what she wouldn't have did? She wouldn't have married him. But she was not a stupid woman. She knew that this man was going to be successful. She knew that he was going to have money. So she wanted that security blanket. And she thought I would be comfortable. But the more successful Steph gets, this ain't the first time. Aisha Curry has said a lot of things about Steph.
I knew it when she had the first interview and said, I like the attention from other men when I go out. From that interview on, I knew.
She's baby Jada. If you to understand how Aisha is, she's Jada Pinkett in the making. You're seeing her become Jada Pinkett. And she wants Steph to turn into Will Smith.
That's crazy.
But this is why I don't subscribe.
If I was Steph, in this world, he can't get another woman. She probably take all his shit now.
But this is why I don't subscribe to getting married in the court system either, though, because now he's stuck.
I agree.
The bitch is on TV saying, fuck this nigga and these kids, and he just got to stomach it.
He ain't got to.
Unless he want to give up half his shit.
Or he could say, bitch, be happy what you got. Now, would he be wrong with that? They would crucify him. Because a man can't speak up. Like, that is applauded. It's now men like us are against it. Whatever Steph says, if he don't try to understand her, he gonna get crucified. He in a stranglehold. And that's the problem with the black woman. Like, the black woman becomes our worst enemy, like we was talking earlier. And she's not a woman that's meant to, destroyed. And what I mean by destroyed, she been pampered since they've been together since high school. So you're telling me you wait till now to say you got to go to mental therapy and all of this stuff like that? I think she's a savage in the making.
I think this is just more results of feminism, man. You didn't see this on mass before the feminist movement, before we was finessed. Like when I'm getting to the root of all our problems, it's niggas getting finessed.
Yeah.
To join the very things that's destroying us. So
I just think sometimes too, it's a lot like you see a lot of married women that got married early, and then now they want to be freaky, and then you get the opposite. The ones that was freaky, they want to be married. Like I look at it like that too. But she for sure knew once he got to that point, she tired of everything. She feel like she did everything now, and she jealous of his success.
But look, we finna get up out of here. I forgot to end the GRLA Hebrew topic on this. Is there any resolution between y'all, or is it a wrap?
Nah, nothing is ever a rap, man. Like he got my number, I got his number, or whatever like that. So I would never say that about any brother. There's no brother that I cannot speak to. But as long as he's out there misleading the people, I would speak against it. Now I ain't said nothing about him since then, since the whole
situation,
since the wax situation, and I probably won't unless somebody asks me like you did.
Oh, I had to ask you. No,
I'm not saying. I'm not saying it for that reason. I'm just saying like I don't have to keep talking about him. And if he was to ever come and sincerely want help or something like that, we would always help him. That's not a problem.
Is he ever gonna be able to lead another chapter and it be looked at right in your eyes?
No.
So there's no forgiveness for him.
That Sakari shit is over. That's a wrap. Ain't no more Sakari. That's a gay group. Let that sizzle in your spirit. That's a gay group.
So basically you saying God forgives, man don't. We don't.
No, I do forgive, but that group can't stand. Like the Christian church can't stand. I say the same thing about the Christian church. It has to fall. Why? Because of the things that they do sexual deviantly in there, they gotta fall.
It's like when a pastor gets exposed for doing something. They typically have to stand. You can't be the lead example and be doing.
Why not? Catholics do it all the time.
I'm saying
Catholics do it all the time.
That typically though, when people find that out,
you gotta understand in the Israelite world, and even the cat that exposed him, he hang with homosexuals too. So that's their school. Niggas that hang with homosexuals and do homosexual activity, even if you don't want to call them homosexual. It's homosexual activity. And that's the group that you saying is God-like and Israelites? Hell no. Not on my watch.
No, I'm saying in the realm of repenting. So if you repent to God by technicality, if I just went and blew somebody's head off and I really repented and really meant it, I still blew his head off.
You would have to go through a rigorous counsel for us to determine that. Like words, anybody can say a word. And anybody can repent. But we only know by your sincerity, by what you go through. That's the only way that we would know. So I can't say whether he repented or not. I'm not with him. But if he was to come around me, then we would look into if he's actually repented by his actions, by what he does, XYZ.
Okay, so if he reached the point under your tutelage that, oh, you know what, he really repented. Mm-hmm. He want to go start up Sakari again.
No,
it's over with. Okay,
he can't be a leader. No.
So he got a scarlet. What you call that?
Scarlet letter.
He got a scarlet letter, according to my man. So it's over with.
I appreciate it, man.
No, for sure, man. Good looking for coming through, man. Dropping some game,
Definitely, man. I appreciate y'all having me, man. I'm Captain Tazaryach of ISBK under Commander Jenny Hanna. I appreciate the brothers bringing me on. Shout out to Wack 100 because he's the one that set this up. Gave my brother a crown. Well, I ain't give it to him.
And that's why I was going to tell you, appreciate you for letting me rock this motherfucker. I told you the energy came through.
Yeah, you see him jumped up. Nigga said, swoop. Nigga jumped up fast. Man. But I do appreciate y'all rocking with me, man. Anytime I'm in Cali, I would love to come back on.
No, man, though. You got a lot of game, you feel me? So I seen a couple of your debates online and shit. I know this one going to go crazy. You know? This nigga viral defending GRLA Hebrew. Come on, bro. Somebody got to play devil advocate on this bitch, man. We all can't be no echo chamber.
That's what content is, not having an echo chamber.
Yeah, for sure.
I appreciate it.
But yeah, where can they find y'all if they want to join the organization?
So if you want to find us, you can go to isbk.com. You can click we have a contact us. And so we're across the world. Like I'm in California. My brother, Captain Quan, we're all over there. He's from California. We have a school, 246. Just say it. I'm going to say it. 246 East Highland Avenue in San Bernardino, California is the school that we have in Cali. I have a podcast, Captain Tazaryach TV. That's my YouTube channel. Commander Jenny Hanna, he has Black Watch Radio. That's his channel. the Round Table of Truth is Captain Mawaqua's channel, and we always putting out content all the time, man. So I appreciate y'all.
Hey, man, shout out to the smart guy, Harlem. Shout out to Loaded Lux, and shout out to Murder Mook, man, for 2 dope battles, man. I'm a battle rap advocate.
Me
you
too.
feel me? I be flying out to New York for the events and
we
all
gotta
that.
have a whole nother podcast for that.
Man, I didn't even know you watched battle rap.
Yeah, I was at Nome.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I was at Nome 11. I was at Summer Madness 2. I was at Summer Madness 11. I was at the Drake event.
I was on stage with B-Dot. When B-Dot battled Swave Sever in New York, I was on stage with him. I drove B-Dot when him and Geechee Gotti battled A-Ward and Loso.
Yeah.
I picked B-Dot up from the airport, drove him down to the battle, was on the stage for that. Yeah, I'm in heavy.
What you think about Mook last battle?
I gave it to Mook 2-1.
2-1. What round you gave Hitman?
Wait, what'd you get Hitman? The paperwork round?
I'm not giving
I'm going to tell you why.
Was that factual?
Hell no. Come on, bro.
Because Mook said that wasn't even his real name that he looked up.
So any other time paperwork is brought out and gone in detail, they give it to the person that bring out the paperwork. When Charlie did it, what's my man that got
even
ran
if
out?
it's false paperwork?
No, they did it. They did it right
it was
though.
False.
When Big K brought out the paperwork on the snitching nigga from Jersey.
From Jersey.
That was real.
Okay, I'm from Jersey. I understand.
It was a snitch nigga from Jersey, nigga. Fuck you, man.
He said, I want
nigga.
Y'all still got surf, right?
Hey, free surf.
Y'all still got surf.
Free surf.
Shout out to Jersey.
Shout out to Arsenal the Rebel, nigga.
Yeah, we still got surf. But I thought the third, I won't argue if somebody say 30, that Mook 30.
That was a dirty 30.
I'm not going to argue. It was bad because Hitman didn't do no Showtime. He didn't do not Showtime. He didn't do no remix.
The remix.
He didn't bring Show Out. He didn't do none of those things. So I thought.
You think he didn't do the remix once Mook did the remix on his ass?
I just think he didn't do it, period, because he wanted to show I could elevate.
He tried to do he tried to pull a Mook off the Serious Jones battle and use his own thing on him. I didn't like that.
This the reason why I said the paperwork didn't hit for me. Number one, it was domestic stuff. We all know how that works. A woman can say anything. The police come, you wrong, period. It wasn't like no snitching paperwork. Right. It wasn't he was a PDF file. It was him and his woman. If I spank my kid right now and the neighbor say, oh, he just hit his kid, call the cops. Right. I could get paperwork for that. Mook didn't get booked or nothing.
Yeah,
so to me,
that's what I'm saying. It wasn't no criminal act. It wasn't no criminal act. I won't really argue with the 30. I know Mook smoked him though. That's my
body.
I did like that round too, but once Mook basically
be here for another hour.
Nah, we gone. But once he said it was false, it was right.
Nah, for sure. Nah, because I want to know who you have from Twerk and Loaded Lux.
If Twerk, I got Loaded Lux winning.
I had Lux winning.
When I got the URL app, right? So when I watched the battle, if Twerk, I think Twerk, when he had so many mic issues, I think it threw off his performance.
Changed the energy?
Yeah, changed the energy. Because in the first round, his mic got messed up like 3 or 4 times, so I think it threw off his performance. I would like to have seen if he didn't have the mic issues, but I gave Loaded Lux the battle. Lux and Mook is
Which rounds?
They like the legends. Yeah.
The first, really all 3 rounds, to be honest. Ooh. The first is debatable, though. The first is debatable because I think Twerk's round was amazing, yo.
Bro, he went 16 minutes.
Yeah, Twerk first round was fire.
No, he fucked up. He should have cut that 16-minute round into 8 because it was fire. But then when he did the
impersonation,
it fell flat. It was over. We did that shit for like 5 minutes. I'm like, oh, this nigga fucked
the first round is debatable to me. But the second and third I gave to Lux.
Yeah, Lux just showed levels. So y'all better leave Mook and Lux alone.
I'm the Israelite Lux.
Oh yeah, you got bars, nigga?
No. In my
saying
he
gonna say spit it.
I'm gonna turn the beat on, cuz. No. All right, my nigga on the rooftop. Hey, we got to bring it back and just talk straight battle rap, man.
Right.
It ain't too many guests we could bring on to talk battle rap with. Niggas be out the loop, so.
Yeah, I'll be on it.
Yeah, I'll go all day with that one. But yeah, y'all share, like, subscribe to the channel. Follow my boy, you feel me? Be on the lookout for Messiah. He be on the corner near you with the crowd. He got to get his Israelite name. Get out of this thing, man. Viral, no way.
Salute. All right.
Ain't no handouts, I did it from the ground up. In the streets, thugging hardest where they found us. Got a problem, nigga, watch my troopers mount up. My bitches bang too, and you a lame though. You niggas ain't outside, yeah, we came through. You want your lights up, we put you on the shake.